I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt. Been real bad. I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Nerds with Dice. This is Savage Riff's Gunmetal Blues, Episode 2, Twice Bitten. Now, welcome back. Hello, my name is Kevin. I'm your game boss for the evening. I just want to tell you about our great sponsor, Grinding Coffee Company. You can use the code Gunmetal Blues to get a percentage off of purchases there. They have really good coffee, and we've had some. It's quite good. I think the Gay Agenda was a blend. I'm not sure. I haven't checked them out in the recent.
I'm sorry. No,
It is
please
a Black and
continue.
delicious.
LGBTQ owned business, and it's been good stuff. So, thank you to them for their sponsorship. And also, there was recently a post on the Nerds with Dice Twitter about they're looking for some players for a game, and I've forgotten all the details about it, but just check the Nerds with Dice Twitter for more information on that. All right. So let's go around and give our super quick character introductions. And then I will go into the recap, and we'll get going from where we left off, starting with Vavasaur.
Hello, I'm Nana Lovebug, or Nana_Lovebug, and I play Vavasaur. They are a dragon baby. They are clad everywhere in like blacks and purples and golds. They have a hood up and a mask on, very wide white eyes.
And a humanoid form right now.
A humanoid form right now, but you see what I did with the white eyes. I learned a couple of things with plugins. Thanks. But
we're growing up. I'm so
we're all
proud of
growing
you.
up. We're all learning together as a family. They are goofy in the way that it's like a child trying to fit in their parents' work clothes. They are very cool TM. And that's
All right.
Vavasaur.
Thank you. Nicanor.
The exact opposite of all of that, actually. Hello, I am John, or Rayamasa. I am playing Nicanor, who is just an ex-soldier who is tired and old. So the exact opposite, again, like I said. But real quick aside, since we did mention it, I did want to in fact confirm the Gay Agenda is in fact a coffee blend over at
Nice.
that particular coffee shop with tastes of caramel, honey, and other types of fruit. So there we go.
Fruit. I get
It's
it.
a very
Yeah,
fruity blend.
anyway.
Mhm.
I get it.
Right.
That makes me happy.
There's also a cowboy blend. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeehaw!
Mutt.
Hi, my name is Maxine, and I am Mutt. Also, I don't remember what they named me last game, so also that name.
I
And
think they stuck with Mutt.
I'm a dog. Woof. Pat.
There we go.
Dog
10%
is fucking nuclear. The dog is
I forgot
fucking
to put it in the
nuclear. I'm
chat
calling it
because
now.
I'm that guy.
I bork. I
Yeah.
bork very loudly. I
And
do loud barks.
Zephyrdry.
Hey folks, my name's Fox. I'm playing Zephyrdry, a 1.5 foot tall robot pixie, who last episode named Mutt Goldie because
That's
Mutt
what it was. Goldie.
implored me to give them a name, and I panicked. So Goldie it was.
It fits. Classic.
Previously on Gunmetal Blues, our team was assembled at Castle Refuge and sent out on a mission to go investigate the Bitten Man, and sent to the town of Greasy, Oklahoma. Along the way, they ran into some fury beetles, which they deftly removed from existence. Harnessed the iron tough slabs of armor and bug meat, and made their way into Greasy, where they met with Mayor Kamal Greenway, who is a cyborg, who told them that the Bitten Man is a little perturbed recently, and they wanted to know what he was bitten by, and he told them, no, he farms bittens. But one thing before we start off, we go to a flashback 20 years ago. We zoom in on Nicanor looking younger, less scarred, carrying a rifle, wearing similar but grungier armor. There is combat happening in the background. There's a firefight going against lanky-looking robot men from another world with kind of like large skull heads. No, not large skull heads, large cranium heads. They don't have a skull motif. These are not coalition robots. They are some kind of alien intelligence that has been attempting to take over part of uh, the East Coast and are being fought back by mercenary teams, including the one that Nicanor is on. Also on this, we see the blacksmith that Nicanor knows, Hendrix, carrying a giant flaming magical hammer. Also looking much younger. We see a cyber knight roll up on a motorcycle wearing a chest plate with the code of the cyber knights etched into their cyber armor, a big kind of helmet with a bit of a crown on it, carrying a giant rifle on their back, no shield and sword. They point and say, "That's where we gotta go." Ethan Nertherton, the new guy, come here. Up, coming out from above is a suit of power armor. It is a terrain hopper power armor, which has wings and it's good for jumping, doesn't fly very long distance. In it, we see a white guy. On it is written Atherton, Aetherton, Atherton. And he's taking orders from the Cyber Knight, who is Sir Nabil, a darker skinned man who is, like I said, somewhat cybernetic. The orders are given out, the group moves forward, and the Cyber Knight gets off the bike. The bike falls to the ground and holds out its hand. The Cyber Knight holds one hand like this and the other hand like this, and a sword and shield appear in them. And the Cyber Knight goes charging in. Now, here's the thing. Nicanor, you know your role here is to hold back. Is there anything different about your armor? Is there anything written on it that you would have had in the past that you wouldn't have anymore?
Ooh, yeah. It is. So Nicanor's armor now is very sort of like it's still kind of grungy, but it's grungy utilitarian. It's plates and armor and but also what looks to be sort of a like a cloak that I would say looks like it's made out of one of those things you project on like transparent screens on during like live displays. And every time it sort of shimmers in the wind, it sort of whenever it sort of kind of comes up over the armor, you can see that little section of where that place covers goes a little like transparent and sort of shimmers into cloaking the back part, like behind them. And so other than that, it looks like they're definitely more spec'd for something that is like stealthy. But it's the same gun, the same big fuck off rifle that they've been using the whole time.
All right. Atherton hesitates. Everyone else has started to move forward. Your job is to stay back, take cover, and take the perfect shots.
Mm-hmm.
Atherton's supposed to do air support. Above, we see what looks to be a floating bluish robot with some kind of organic material at the bottom and back of it, with two arms. The arms are also laser cannons. Its hands are laser cannons that it is firing down. And Atherton is supposed to engage with that, but is suddenly struck by the fear.
Fair.
What do you say to Atherton?
Is Atherton by me, or is Atherton further out?
Atherton is literally next to you, having yet to launch.
Okay. And Atherton's job is to distract the big shooty thing in the sky.
Is to get in the sky and get engaged.
Nicanor doesn't say anything to Atherton. Nicanor reaches for the telekinesis in their mind, winds up, and just smacks Atherton into the sky. Like, go do your job.
Atherton flings in a weird like spiral for like 10 feet, but then the thrusters kick in, takes off, hovers for a sec, and then gets engaged and is fast. Not a Samus flying jet fast, but pretty fast, nimble, and is keeping the thing shooting at him. And the battle goes on. We see some other people on your side fall, and Atherton catches a bolt to one of his legs. The leg is sheared off.
Weak.
It is one of those injuries that is instantly cauterized.
Mm-hmm.
And later, I just forgot the name of the Cyber Knight I said. Sir Nabil. Writing it down so I don't forget it again. Sir Nabil runs up and it starts engaging psychic surgery on Atherton's leg. And Atherton is like, do we get him? He's like, and Sir Nabil says, we fought him back this time. We're not done here yet, but you're done for the day. Good work. Except for the time you lost your leg. Atherton's eyes have a mix of like shame and relief and anger. The mayor's standing in front of the group. We see the mayor having just said, oh, he raises Bittens about the Bitten men. Says, if you go at night, things will be a little calmer as the Bittens don't fly as much at night. And well, you'll see him. You could just follow the droning sound into the cavern, and the Bitten man's not the friendliest. But if you're not coming for the Bittens, you'll be fine. You need to find out what's bothering. We can't get it free of him. There's some history between us, but a new person he'll be mean to, but will open up to if you talk to him.
Quick question.
Yes.
What exactly is a Bitten?
It's about this big, flies, wings, buzzing. Don't get stung.
Big,
They generally leave people alone unless you like attack them.
Big.
Do I know what a Bitten is?
Give me a roll at a -2.
-2. Wow.
I was
on
gonna
a-
say, I wonder if I would know just by being around.
This is rare knowledge.
Got
This
it.
would be
Okay.
wouldn't even be academics. What would it be? I forget your list of skills.
I
'cause
don't
I'm
have
not in roll 20
academics
'cause I'm
anyway,
bad
it's fine.
GM.
This dog ain't got academics.
So the things that would make sense to me would either be common knowledge, academics, or occult.
It would not be a cult.
Okay. So
It
it's
would
not
be
a
a
monster in that
-4
sense.
common knowledge, a -2
Survival, maybe?
academics.
I would like to clarify that Vavasor does not know what these are.
Okay.
Mhm.
No clue.
Hey, look,
Just
everyone
not
else
a
is in
single
the-
thought.
Let me.
I've just decided that I do not know.
I've decided no thoughts.
Head empty, only dragon.
It's that 6 is at a -4, so
Okay. You don't know what a Bitten is.
not in my databanks. Okay.
Nope.
Cool.
I only
Alright.
ask because I have Monster Slayer mostly, honestly. So
I don't know what that does off the top of my
there
head.
you go. That's what it
Hey,
does.
when confronted with a supernatural opponent, they are not supernatural creatures.
Right. Okay. Moving on.
They're just mean.
All right. They go, yeah. It's kind of the town industry here is harvesting what they leave behind and selling it.
What do they leave behind?
Sweet honey.
Mhm.
I just start drilling a little bit. As
But the
only
Bittens
dogs
apparently have been unhappy, and if something happens to them, our income is probably going to fade. So
Will you allow one of your... And I'll look to the other dog boys that are with us.
there are 2 dog boys there, a Doberman looking one and a Dalmatian looking one.
Except these dog boys are to protest.
I love them. They are good.
Dog boys make me want to light a fire on something.
Well, good thing one has a specialty in putting out fires.
Oh, perfect.
Or perhaps down an electrical line. Anyway.
You would meet another one for that anyway.
Yeah.
I'm Chase. You want to go? This is. I'm roughly ready.
Please, Nate, tell me you name them after the Paw Patrol.
Chase and Edwin. Also, I don't like how those eyes shifted.
It's not Edwin. It's Chase and Marshall are here.
Oh, Marshall. There we go.
Marshall's the Dalmatian.
Again,
I'm more annoyed at the rough pun mostly. Is
Yeah,
where
the
I'm
rough
at.
was good.
He's rough,
That
rough,
is-
ready to
Roughly
go.
ready.
Okay.
But I couldn't bring him to say I'm rough, ready to go because he's a dog boy. Dog boys are imagine a humanoid dog like a TMNT dog, also muscular. This is
Oh,
a
it's thick
built.
Doge.
This is a thick doge. This is a muscular dog.
This is Big O Doji Boy.
Chase
Oh, good.
is
I'm so
the
proud.
more muscular of the two. Marshall's a little more lithe.
I'm just sad it took me 2 weeks to figure that out.
Good.
Okay, Pooh, you and I are in the same boat.
Oh boy. Oh, all right.
Okay,
Good.
Sorry, I was just...
so Chase picks up his laser rifle from behind the bar, straps it to his back, says, "All right, we can head out now. The Bittens might be a little Riley, but as long as we don't provoke them, we should be fine."
All right.
saying you don't want the Bittens to be smitten.
I mean, I guess you could use pheromones or something.
No, that rhymed. It was a joke. It was very funny.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. I've been told I'm no good at those.
Let's go.
Okay.
Follow Nick.
You get into the car. Chase has his own. It is a one-seater car. It is actually really big for only having a single seat in it. It's
Okay.
very thick. It is painted mostly blue and black. It appears to have some kind of security lights on it as well. It looks like the back of it may open up. As you go forward,
Is this a distance I could run next to the car?
yes, they will be keeping a speed under like 50 because the terrain is
Sweet.
not great here.
Great, I'm running next to the car.
Actually, you can't run any more than a normal dog can run. You're not
Yeah.
super fast at
I
all.
was gonna
Like,
say,
running
like-
50, you will be left behind very quickly.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
I keep forgetting I'm no good with these rates of speed.
You
and
put in
movement.
my character sheet that I run and I dig.
You run and you
so-
dig. You like to do these things.
I do. I do these things so well.
Yeah, like my pace is 5. I am running nowhere.
But you are not nearly as fast. The Goldie the Mutt is not nearly as fast as she thinks. So it takes a little bit, but then after having to stop and slow down for you to catch up, Chase just offers to let you ride on the back. There's place to stand and you'll be in the wind. Chase also
Yes.
rides with no windshield.
This checks out. Yep.
I totally do that thing like that dogs in backpacks do where they like jump up and like put their arms over like the back and just
If it were anyone but you, I don't know that Chase would allow that, but it's fine with you.
it makes so much sense though. Like he gets me. He gets me.
All right. As you go forward, the drowning sound that you heard earlier starts to be picked up first on Zephyrdry sensors, and then Mutt can hear it as well. It takes a little bit longer before the rest of you can hear it. It is a kind of
Like a mix between a moo and a meow.
kind of. But there's
Flight
a
of-
lot of it. It
Flight of
echoes
the
through
Bumble Bitten. Got it.
It out of the
Is it like cicadas? Like where it's
a
like just
little bit like cicadas.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit closer to bees too.
Light
Okay.
of the bumblebees.
The sun isn't down yet. Do you want to wait until the sun is starting to set, or
I'd like to, if we are gonna get up to a point where this, cause they told us to go when the sun is set, because that'll be a better time to do it.
yeah, because the
Um,
Bittens won't be flying.
Right. If the Bittens were, I was told about, yay big.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, like
then
football
Nick is-
sized.
Nick
Eh,
is gonna
smaller.
like up until the point where Chase
Softball
seems
sized.
to be like
That's a good one.
trepidatious about going towards more the flight of Bumblebitten. Nick is gonna get out of the car at that point and slowly kind of just walk up to see what they can see without
Gotcha.
like going too close in a car.
We'll say there is a cliff with a waterfall on it that you're
Nice.
kind of at the top of. There's a path down that doesn't require special navigation because who
Hell,
cares?
I love Chekhov's waterfall.
But you can see into the valley.
Yeah.
And from a distance, those of you, especially with advanced eyesight, can see yellow and black creatures with wings. They're about this big, about softball sized, floating from what look to be place to place in this valley. The valley is filled with flowers, and sometimes the flowers move in what can only be considered a skitter. Actually, it looks like the valley should be full with flowers, but there's far fewer flowers than would fill this valley right now. She says, huh, there used to be more of the mouse.
I'm sorry. You say that
must
the
be
flowers,
more of the flies. I'm sorry.
the flowers skitter, as in the flowers move around?
Yes. And landing on one of these flowers, you see the giant mitten with a stinger at the back of it, yellow and black striped, iridescent wings, take its front paws and make donuts in the pollen, and it looks up at you with its kitten face.
It's a bee cat. It's a cat bee? Cat bee.
Cat bug.
Bee kitten.
I'm out. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Hey, initiate self-destruct.
You explode.
Nana and Love and I will be the only ones here just fangirling over this, and the other two self-imploded.
Christ, bee kitten.
No, right, character, being in character. I am recording every moment of this across every spectrum I am capable. Taking meticulous readings of this bee kitten for later purposes.
If you're wondering what they look like, you can Google cats photoshopped onto bees.
Absolutely not.
I have seen them. I have had them in a game before, and they are my life.
Good.
I love them.
Amazing.
I will use the power of imagination and not Google that at all. Thank you.
Wait, no, that is
cute.
adorable.
It is
actually.
cute.
Hold
It
up.
is so cute.
Wait, no, that's adorable.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Because bees are so fuzzy.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
are.
No, super fair. That's
Anyway,
great.
Now they have-
you see the Bittens gathering pollen and such, and headed towards like what seems to be in the side of the cavern. There is a large structure, a large paper mache looking nest. And you see them fly up to the bottom of it and walk their way in. You see in the middle of this valley, there is the shackiest of shacks. A 7 foot tall black man. No, there is a shack's bigger than 7 feet. I've seen him in person. He is a hallway.
Yep.
So the
He
man
wears shoes the size of a torso. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I've seen his shoes next to a person.
yes, but yes, I did say their front little not mandibles, but their front little things are cat's paws.
Meow.
And it seems that they produce some sort of honey. That when you remember coming into town, you saw a candy shop with a drop of honey with a cat's paw pressed into it.
I get it. Okay. Yeah. All right.
It says,
Just want the spicy sky jalapenos.
There's a range of emotions going on under Sor Vavasor's mask. Just like, oh my god.
the waterfall is making a bit of a rainbow. It is kind of a beautiful scene, but it seems like if Bob Ross were painting this, he quit about halfway through painting in the flowers.
Oh.
As Zephyrdry with your telescopic sight, I believe you have telescopic among every other sight.
Sure. Let me take a look. I have a lot of things.
We already clarified these are not supernatural beings.
These are not. They are apparently native to somewhere.
My heart?
You have these in your heart, you might want to see a cardiac surgeon.
It's fine, they can stay, it's fine.
Good.
The flowers that are skittering around are roughly the size of mice. They are a plant creature roughly the size of a mouse that grows flowers on its back.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I need to explain the ecosystem that's happening here.
No, you do not.
I
Uh-huh.
do not. You just giving me a lot of really cute Pokemon to work with.
Yep, yep.
As you go down into the valley, Chase hits the siren on the boop boop on his vehicle.
Woof,
Says,
woof, woof, woof.
Good.
and he says, "Well, he knows you're coming now, so that'll help you. I don't like going down there because the scent of all the pollen and the pheromones get to be a bit much for me."
Fair enough.
Woof.
All right, so just follow the path down. I'm assuming you all follow the path down. As you take in, as Zephyrdry takes in photographic, like documentary style, David Attenborough narrated footage on IMAX.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fluttering because that's the thing. As these things fly, I presume they've got wings. They're
Yes.
bees, but also cats. Are they aggressive if you get close to them?
If you start to get a little close, it gets a little wary and kind of curls, so its stinger is in like a position, and you hear a kind of sound.
And then you hear a oh from Z, and as she's just like orbiting, just recording on several different spectrums.
Gotcha.
Just as the group moves along, and she as these things are buzzing around, she buzzes over and like takes a look at one, and the group gets a little too far, and she basically leashes back, zoops back over to the group, and then slowly wanders off to see another one. And it's just back and forth the whole trip.
Gotcha.
You know how really well trained dogs go between the legs of people, like their own. I'm doing that with oh no, what?
Nicanor?
No,
Yeah. Officer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, with Nicanor. Because you can tell I'm kind of doing that dog vibrati of happiness because I'm trying not to chase these things.
Yep.
Trying very hard right now not to chase these things.
They appear to be kind of staying away, especially from mud.
That checks out.
I need my spices back. Jalapenos.
Nicanor, how are you reacting to this?
Nicanor has been like, okay, large cat bees. That's not what I'm here for, and has turned to look at the shack.
They're the size of kittens.
Yeah. And so Nick is looking over at the shack with and then sort of again reaches up, sort of taps that little nub sort of behind their ear.
Yeah.
And the goggles part of their helmet sort of digitizes over their eyes. As they take a look at the shack to see if there's what they can tell about it, and also because apparently they also have thermal, infrared, ultraviolet, and night optics.
Okay.
So
the infrared, I'd say the waterfall causes some disruption as the water mist, but the thermal, you kind of get that there is what looks to be one person in that shack.
Okay.
The bees or the Bittens have a bit of a heat signature, but not nearly as strong, and they travel at a swarm, so it's like a big blob of heat, like when you see bats in heat vision in a yeah. So it's easy to tell that there's one person there. As you come down, you see a pathway which has little smoke sticks that are giving off a little plume of smoke, kind of keeping the Bittens out of a path leading up to the house. It is a shack. The door is on there. It is basically 4 pieces of MDC material from different sources that have been placed in a roughly rectangular shape, with another one put on top at an angle so that rain goes down. There has been a hole cut and a chimney put in as well. There are no windows here. There are no windows on the shack.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. If we get to the shack without incident, Nick is gonna knock on the door.
Okay, you knock on the door. It's the sound of knocking on the side of a cargo container.
Yep.
And you hear, "What you want?"
Woof.
Oh, hey, Scooter.
Close.
Okay. No.
Oh no, Curry Zero.
Curry Zero.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah. Mayor sent us, said you got a problem.
We are here to speak to Edwin.
Yeah, I told you my name. Friggin' mayor is voting in his fancy faces. All right, let me put on pants.
Mood.
Thank
Look,
you.
It takes a minute. You hear the sound of drawers and opening and shutting, and like then the sound of someone very clearly checking their e-clip, which is what you put in high-powered rifles.
Well, some high-powered rifles.
Well,
Or
most.
me.
Oh, yeah.
And the door to the shack opens. You see a man standing there with completely white skin. Not white like me, but white like me before color correction. Like
Like,
the
here we go.
the color of fox under a direct sunbeam.
Oh, I was pointing at my
Oh.
white.
Oh, okay. I thought you were showing us on your
There's a-
arm.
Yeah, the white gotch. Yes.
Yes, the cabinet.
Oh. Yeah.
Ass.
This is not.
Gondor beacon in the sun reflective. I got you.
There is. This
Oh
man
my
has
gosh.
no hair. He has
Oh.
a pair of blue jeans and a belt on.
Mm.
No, you know what? I said a belt, but I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's got the suspenders.
Yep.
Yes.
In his hand is a standard
That way.
issue, kind of generic coalition knockoff of a laser rifle. Completely hairless, no eyebrows. Has tattoos all over his torso of different monsters. And his teeth are. You see that two of his teeth, like the front, have been filed into sharp points.
Okay.
Give me a common knowledge check if you would like to know more about what this
I
man is.
would, because John remembers something that sounds similar to this and cannot for the life of him remember what that is. So we're going to give it a shot.
I also am. I'm not taking a step forward, but like leaning forward and doing that sniff. I'm doing the sniffy sniffs.
Hell yeah, hit with a raise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
5, just a hit for me.
Okay. With a hit, you get that this is a Psy Stalker. Psy Stalkers
That's
are people who are naturally mutated, naturally born mutants who have the ability to fight supernatural beings with excellence. If a mage is cut by a Psy Stalker, like their skin is nicked, the Psy Stalker consumes their their PPE. All of it. Their magic power, gone in one hit from a Psy Stalker. This means Psy Stalkers have to be really good at getting that hit in because, you're coming up against people who don't want you to hit them. Psy Stalkers, some people theorize, with a raise, you get that some people theorize Psy Stalkers are a natural defense developed by this planet specifically. They've been seen other places, but this is the only place they've been seen in these numbers. So it's theorized that they originated here. And the and B, that it's been theorized that they are Earth's natural defense against monsters and etc. And B, this man's tattoos indicate that he is an experienced and deadly and successful hunter of supernatural demons specifically. This means he's probably spent time up towards the Calgary region where there is a lot of demons. Psy Stalkers are used by the Coalition, but everybody uses Psy Stalkers because they're damn good at what they do. Otherwise, they die. Psy Stalkers don't eat. They consume PPE from other beings.
Mm-hmm.
They are an energy vampire that way, but most of them aren't, out to hurt people who are good people. And, they will, as first choice for food, hunt monsters. As second choice for food, ask. And third choice for food is take PPE they need without killing. That's what this man's tattoos indicate. That's what a raise gets you on a common knowledge when you're a special bot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And reflexively, I had been kind of fluttering around near the back, and I don't completely interpose myself between Nick, who knocked on the door, and this delightful Borderlands character, but just kind of like bring myself up to the front and like at about eye level, not in front of Nick, but just sort of just right there, just to say like, this motherfucker tries anything, I gotta do something so that they don't eat my friend's brain, kind of positioning, but
Sure.
still maintaining a very cheerful countenance as I flutter there.
Because I'm used to them dog boys coming around. I told them I don't need nothing from them. I got this place secured.
Well, we were told that there was a change to the Bittens. The frequency of their vibrations on their wings is apparently buzzing in an unusual manner. So we were asked to come investigate.
Yeah, they've been slowing down.
Do you like? There's an awkward.
Elaborate.
Do you know why? Do you have any ideas?
What I want from you is some kind of parlay roll. I don't
Sure.
know. I don't remember off the top of my head what the skills names
So
are.
there is a persuasion as one of the many ways you can talk to somebody. If you want me to do a song and dance routine for him, there's performance.
No, I mean you can try, but I think that will go poorly.
I want you to do a song and dance routine for
Is
Well,
there any way I can assist with this?
Assisting is a thing in this thing.
There
Yeah.
is. I've forgotten how to do it because I forgot to open the Suede book.
As I recall, the assisting player describes in what manner they are assisting. They roll, and on a hit, the main person gets a +1. On a raise, they get a +2, I think.
Okay, so there
That feels
is.
right. My brain.
So I will say this is how it sounds like you might assist. You're
Okay.
also a veteran soldier. This person's
Yes.
seen a lot of fights.
Yep.
So you can relate to them on that front. Kind of like,
Yeah.
listen, we know what we're doing. We're not going to go out and get ourselves just off.
Specifically, what I was going to ask too is because Nick's been around the block for a hot minute, is if I could use, if I could roll battle to try and see if I recognize any of the things on his tattoos and be like, oh, that was that thing in whatever incident.
That sounds cool. Do that.
Well, I will do this thing. Boop.
All right,
Yeah,
you got to hit with a raise.
I hit with a
You
raise.
were at one of these battles.
Oh, shit.
Great.
I like to give stuff on a raise.
Yeah.
You were at a there was a special incursion up near the Calgary Demons where it was just it was blood demons. It was literal blood demons coming out of a rift that needed to be pushed back. You were the one that figured out who the human was that had summoned them and was continuing to summon them. And you removed them from the battlefield, which made it easier to stop there. Since there were no more blood demons continuing to come, it made it possible to win and to put down this let's say about 15 of them got through, and if it wasn't for the literal tribe of size stalkers there, who knows where they would have gone next.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Nick will be Nick who was knocked on the door and then kind of crossed their arms and sort of took a step back, to give the man space when he opened the door. Just kind of when they see the tattoos come and go. Oh, that was up in Hell's Pit, huh? And sort of points to one of the ones on their bicep.
Flexes, it's sadder than it used to be. Because they don't have to be strong, more so they're lithe and built like gymnasts.
Yep.
Actually they're more, yeah. And it is a screaming blood demon's like face with a knife through the side of the skull, and was like, yeah, I got the first wave. Really made my mark that day.
Oh
It was something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that you were able to make your mark. Probably would have been a little. I'm sorry if I made that difficult. What with taking out the man who was summoning them and all. And I'll let that hang.
That was a beautiful shot. I only heard it. I didn't even see it. I saw the body drop.
That's ideal.
And speaking of hearing things, I just want you to know that while we are here on behalf of the mayor, we aren't the mayor, and I think you'll find that our friends here are rather pleasant to speak to, and really, the faster that we can find out what's going on wrong with the Bittens, the faster we can get out of your hair. So I roll these dice. So, thank you for that +2, because as a robot, I normally have a -2.
Would you like to roll physical dice, Fox?
Bork.
You may notice in the chat log that there's like 11 or 12 just little test rolls. As I was just clicking and clicking
Didn't
and
see
clicking.
that.
You're
And
like,
going
how
like,
is
I
today
need-
rolling?
So we're gonna find out as I click on freaking where the hell is it? Persuasion, there it is. Under P. Ha ha ha
I'm
ha.
gonna save my. All
I
right,
believe
cool.
in you.
That
Yeah.
too brings you up to a
You-
5.
I
Yeah,
know,
there you go.
except that I also have a -2 from being an outsider because I look like a toy.
I will give you the
You
fact that
do.
Nicanor brought this. I will give the story was good enough that this will give you a 4.
Okay.
Like, unless you want to spend a Benny and see if you can get
I'm
a
happy
raise.
to spend a Benny here. Like, it's okay.
Spend the Benny. Yeah, because Bennies aren't hard to come by.
No, they're not hard to come by. I'm happy to spend. So go ahead and spend one of my bennies, and I will hit that reroll button.
Would you like to spend a Benny?
Yes, I would
Oh
love to
my
spend a benny.
God.
Let's do it. Let's
Would you
go.
like to roll real dice?
You
Good
call-
bennies
would
after
you-
bad.
Would you? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, got it. All
3,
right.
2, 1, contact. Fuck this
Finally
game.
got that 4.
I did get a 4. For the sake of the audience, I rolled a 3 and a 3, a 2 and a 2, and then a 1 and a 4.
This
God,
is
you
on
need
a
at least a
D8
4.
and a D6.
Wow.
On a D8 and a D6.
You
Get my
can
dice.
have real dice, honey.
getting
It's
them.
okay.
I'm getting them.
The GM said you can have them.
This is good. This is a
I
good
don't know how
choice.
to spend your. I might have made everyone's name too small.
If you just
I'm at
click
1
on
Benny
the,
presently.
Yeah.
If you just click on the.
I have two.
I
If
can't
those are the little coin thingies, then I
get
have
everyone on
two.
that side. I can get everyone but Fox for some reason.
When
That's
did
me,
they
butt fox.
roll over? Or did they roll over in between sessions?
They roll over in between sessions.
Benny's? No,
Yes.
Benny's start over
No,
every
Benny's,
session.
Benny's
Oh,
reset
that's
to
what I
3
meant.
every
Do
start.
they?
That's
Yeah.
that's what I meant. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
I used the wrong
Yep,
term.
they
But
They
yes.
reset to 3 every start.
Yes.
Oh,
Use
So
your
if you-
bennies, or at the start of the next session, they just go back to 3, whatever amount you've got.
I'm
Spenders.
about to become a big spender.
Yes.
All right, one moment, please. Please come in.
I have 2 modes. I have to spend everything I have all at once, or
And-
save for
or-
3 years,
Gotcha.
and then spend everything I had all at once.
I gotcha. You're a but I only have 99 of them kind of
All right,
RPG
well,
player.
I need you to show me your room, babe. I'll be in a bit.
Not me, baby. You give me an elixir, I'm spending that shit in the next fight.
Then put your stuff
No,
together.
no, no.
I can't have you coming in here.
If I have 99, then
you.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend like
Sorry.
all of
You're
them
good.
till 15 of them, and then you'll see none of them ever.
That's fair. No,
Like
there's
nothing.
a threshold. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's like
gotcha,
a- yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I was really, really good about that
Video
before
display there.
giving them to you. Well, sorry, you have to find your own now. I'm no
Small.
longer the
There we go.
supplier.
I'm mad Megan said bennies are basically Riff's Cole's cash. I'm so mad.
Wow. Ooh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But like now, now I'm also upset.
All
Also,
right.
hi, Megan. Okay.
Love her.
Okay.
Anyway, so he gives you the stink eye and he's like, listen, you find out why the flasks are being weird, where all the flasks have gone, and I will give you a reward.
No, yeah. Can I not roll for that? Because I know what you just said, and I get it. And I feel like Nick is just the kind of person who is just upset by all of this enough that they've made the connection instantly. If that's okay with you.
All right, go ahead and roll for it then.
Cool. What am I rolling for that nonsense?
That'll be a persuasion.
Uh-huh. Oh no, I was just gonna underroll. I was just saying I understand what a flice is.
Oh, okay. No, you just do.
Cool.
You've seen all the evidence to put together what flice is.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you.
You've seen the bitten man's imagination at work.
Yep. This is the one time that this is the one time when someone mentioned an owlbear, and without skipping a beat, someone who never played D&D said, "Do they eat salmon mice?" with a straight face. back at us. That's this game. This is what is happening currently.
Oh.
I've
Mice.
noticed. I've noticed. Keep it moving. We don't have
Anyway,
time. Keep it
focus.
slice. That's what they are.
Uh,
Oh.
Uh-huh. That's
everyone's
not-
there now. Okay.
I don't understand. I've been playing D&D since they called it AD&D. Never thought about that. Huh.
All right.
All right.
The
Plot.
an owlbear clearly eats a salmon and then spits up the bones.
Yeah.
God
Yeah,
damn
clearly.
it.
Anyway,
Clearly. Obviously.
the
Clearly.
owl pellets are used as clubs by some cultures.
Thank you for clarifying that, guys. I, as a player, am
It's-
slow.
Flower mice.
Is it the bugbears? Do the bugbears use them as clubs?
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway.
Vavasor looks at Edwin and asks,
Oh.
when did you realize that the flies were acting strangely?
About a week and a half ago, I started seeing the numbers reduced, and then they started being weird.
That's what being weird mean.
Yeah, weird how?
They got a bit of stuff on them sometimes. I caught one of them.
Show us.
Goes back around to into their shack is a dresser, a table with a lamp on it. The lamp is not connected to anything but does glow.
Okay.
A stack of books next to a mattress on the floor, and a little carrier cage. It is a cat carrier for roughly your normal size cat, and in there you see a little. It looks like a mouse, but it's made entirely out of plant matter, and it does seem to have some kind of bloom on its back, but there is something that's not right with it. Would anyone like to give me any kind of
I'm gonna
science
sniff
skill?
it. Can I go
You want to
sniff
sniff
it?
it?
I sniff
I'd love
it.
to.
Give me a notice. if
I want
you're
to
gonna
sniff it real good.
I'd like to use expanded awareness with my dragon eyes.
Go ahead. I
Sniff,
believe that
sniff,
gives you
sniff,
bonuses.
sniff.
Ooh.
Look,
I
look with
sniffed
your
it
dragon
real
eyes.
good.
I'm gonna look with my dragon eyes.
Oh, you
think-
can detect it. Okay, so you look at it with your dragon eyes using your detect
Detect
arcana.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I
Go ahead
think-
and roll your. I believe this would be psionics check or arcane check, whichever's higher.
I
Arcane?
done
Not
sniffed it
arcane.
real
What was it?
good.
Spellcasting or psionics.
Yes. What is your sniff?
I done sniffed it with a 7 and 4.
All right. So it smells musty,
Ooh.
a little mossy.
Hmm.
Like it's a plant that has a moss that's kind of attached itself to the base of the creature.
Okay.
Vavasor, the creature is not especially. It has a low level PPE, which all living things have. It doesn't have it,
Well.
meaning it's not innately psionic or magical. The moss that is attached itself to it has a faint psionic signature, or a faint residue of PPE, which is potential psychic energy, what people use to power spells, and everyone has some.
Mostly everyone.
Every living being and many consciousnesses have some.
Understood.
Pumping someone else's inner monologue.
Vavasor doesn't wait or mince words. They see that and then say that. They
Mm.
see that the moss has some sort of psionic signature on it. Something is wrong here.
Yeah, I tried
Also-
scraping it off, but it didn't. That killed the flies. And
Oh.
I also dose mince words and I sneeze. And go back to my positioning.
the spores
under Nick's
are
legs.
the spores are not spores you've smelled before. They're stuck like.
I go back under Nick's legs and sneeze again. I sneezed twice. Twofer.
I haven't had time to. I've been trying to
Okay.
keep up the. Has your dog got allergies?
Yeah.
I flutter down to
I
mud
forget
level.
if you've talked psychically at us yet.
Yes. Each
yeah,
of us have,
Yeah.
at
I
one
did it-
point
Yeah.
Okay.
once.
Cool.
We have all
Can
heard
I-
the dog talk once.
I can't
Yes.
At
do
least.
that back, right?
You can literally just talk to me.
Yeah, I know, but like
I can hear you.
I'm also
normal.
psychic, and I don't
You would
want
have to use your power.
Yeah.
right. Okay, I don't have telepathy as a power, so I cannot. Moving on.
Yeah. Telepathy is a specific power, yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, that was my
Yes.
question.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yes.
Cool.
Though, and
Yeah.
now looking at the dog, the Side Stalker looks at the dog a little more.
Yep. Nick just goes, yeah, dog is right. Anyway, so
There was about a month ago. There's a big explosion a couple kilometers that way. I haven't had time to look out. And then there was a secondary explosion the next day.
cool.
But I ain't had time to figure it out, to investigate.
I fluttered down to this little mouse cat carrier thing, and just to kind of take a look inside, and standing on the ground, kind of look up at good sir, if it would be all right, may I open this and run a full spectrum analysis on its back?
Take the whole damn carrier, science robot.
Sneeze.
Okay, I have a name actually. Thank you. It's
Their name is
Zephyrdry.
Zephyrdry.
Thank you, Vavasaur. I
I
just
sneeze again.
worried about Mutt, but one thing at a time. I open up the cage and yeah, like I want to
All right, give me
kind
that
of like
science.
get my head down in there, and as
While they're
my-
doing that, in the meantime, I'm gonna ask if Crazy Earl can point me in the direction of the explosion.
You did not just call this man crazy.
Oh yes, he did.
When I start with what you want. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Uh,
that's Kevin's fault.
yeah. That's intentional.
So yeah, just like to point out the direction.
Gives you pretty good directions.
Nice.
You know, a lot of Side Stalkers work as scouts
Yep.
when they're not hunting. So gives you very good directions. Basically get up on the waterfall about. Oh, I also forgot to open my map because I'm the best GM in the world.
You
Uh,
are.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
You're not
where-
wrong.
Where? There it is.
everyone knows that
Greasy.
the best GMs just forget all of their shit and then pull it up as they go.
Uh,
Yeah.
Joke's on you, I forget to prep entire games.
Ayo.
That's a choice at that point. This is over by the ruins of Fort Coffee, which is apparently a thing.
Fort Cop, great, amazing.
Is that like by the Greasy School?
Greasy is only a few miles from Fort Coffee.
All right, what direction is?
Oh no,
Fort
wait,
Coffee
that's
from
wrong. That's
Greasy?
Newtown. Where did Greasy go? Where's Greasy on my map? There's
It
Greasy.
slipped away.
Point of order? Is it important? Who cares?
No, yeah, Fort Coffee is there you go. Actually, it's over by Marble City.
All right,
Sneeze.
okay, gotcha.
So it's right next to our sponsor, Grinding Coffee.
Hey!
Ayo.
So like southeast-ish.
If you get to Badgerly, you're gone too far. South,
Alright.
yeah, south.
Southeast. Here. Okay. You got a map around of the of that space around here?
No.
Do I?
Figures. No,
Um.
yeah.
Ooh. Give what skills?
Dice.
Give me a
Dice
tracking.
game.
Do you have
Dice
maybe?
survival? Give me a survival.
Points. Skills. Dice.
Survival? Oh, never
To
mind.
see how accurate your map is. You have
Ah.
a map, but the map is pre-rifts. You
So,
know roughly which direction and distance that would be.
Okay, let me get a second. Let me get a second D6 here so I can roll this as well. Because let me tell you,
Yeah.
that other roll, it sure happened.
If I
Oh,
can
boy.
help by just letting them know
Holy
what
shit.
I found, just be like moss. Sneezy moss is probably what
Sneezy
I'd
moss.
say. Yeah, sneezy moss. And what did you tell me
Alright.
it was psionic, or did you tell Nick?
No, it was Vavsor who got it.
Vavasor got
Okay, okay.
I have
got
two
that
die
right.
rolls that still need to be resolved. Hi!
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, does
I know.
that if I tell her to look at the moss, like specifically the moss is what's triggering my
Gotcha.
sneezes and stuff, does that help that
It doesn't
give her
have
a
this
place
current
to
roll,
start? Okay.
but
Which one you want
Zephyrdry.
first?
Give me because the map's a later thing. So start with the science, right?
Okay,
Mhm.
blew that one hard. 3 and a 2.
Nice.
I got a Benny left, right?
Yep.
Sick. Spending my last Benny.
All right.
Boyo.
Hey, there we go. That's a 6.
Nice.
And a 5. So that's a hit and a raise, actually, on the science roll.
Nice.
Hey.
All right, so
Like it.
the moss is not from this world. It is, though the moss is not native to this world, though the chemical residue on it shows that it is from soil or has been in soil of this world.
Okay. That's from
The
Earth.
moss
Good start.
does not move on its own, but if these rats got into it, it could, or if the flies got into it, it could spread from mouse to mouse, and it spores into plants. It's basically it picked up fleas, alien moss fleas.
Sneeze.
No, fleas jump and move. It picked up a non
Like a mite.
an
like a-
infection that
yeah.
doesn't, transfer from host to host. It does transfer from host to host. The infection transfers from host to host within a short range. It is giving off a weird signature. It is you've been told it's psionic. You've been told that trying to scrape it off kind of harms the mouse. But it also seems to make it slower. And you do notice that the infection does seem to be centered underneath the flower and kind of creeping in. You'd have to dissect. Well, you wouldn't have to dissect it because you've got all kinds of X-ray and shit. You basically CAT scan this thing.
Okay. Sick.
Advanced science tools.
I'm sorry, they what?
I mouse scan it.
Cat scan.
Ayo.
Anyway, you can see that the moss's roots are in deeper than you would have expected and seem to be going for the consciousness of these things. Like the brain is not in its head, but is at the root of its bulb. And the moss seems to be kind of, getting there, slowing it down, making it easier to catch. All right.
Yeah, I emerge from I've got my head just kind of shoved in there, like looking around. My little pointy robot ear headphone things like swiveled kind of forward. At this point, my eyes sort of shift into this light blue as they light up a little bit of that area, and I'm doing my scan. As I pull my head back out, coffee would be nice. I could go for coffee. And I turn around, relay that, yeah, like it's some kind of subdermal thing. It appears to be heading for the poor creature's central nervous system. As I, pass along all that information.
Oh, and then make your do I have a map for that roll?
That one I've unskilled, and you still roll your wild die on an unskilled roll, right?
Yes, you do.
But you subtract 2?
It is a d4 minus 2 on the roll, and you do roll your wild die.
Okay, so in that case,
and it could explode.
Which it did explode, which means I got a 6, so I got a hit.
All right, you do get a hit. Your map is accurate enough to get you there pretty fast. It doesn't seem there's been any major tectonic activity in this area. The roads are probably gone and may have turned into rivers, you assess. So going the roads won't be the quickest way, but you can get there in an hour as the sun is getting low in the valley. The valley's already dark, but if you get above the valley, it will be less dark.
I dust off hands that have nothing on them after shut the cage, and as I float up, not to worry. It's like again kind of size up Nick, Ranger Nick. I can guide us there without any issue. My maps of the area are up to date.
Excellent.
It's just about an hour from here.
Great. Can you find me a vantage point? I want give me the highest point around there.
Absolutely. And I buzz out and I just go up into the sky.
With your raise, you will get that Marble City is partially named because it does have a marble mine. And there used to be a chapel, which was the highest point in the city. It's like a chapel overlooking a river, and then the city's lower on the other side.
Oh.
So the top of Pettit Chapel is your highest vantage point in the city.
Pettit Chapel?
Pettit.
Pettit. I know, you're suddenly thinking, I want to pet the Bittens. Pettit is now a pun. It was unintentional.
Or I get pettits. I like it. I'm
sometimes
a good
the world
doggo. I get
just
pettits.
aligns in beautiful ways.
All
I
right.
pass that information back over comms.
Cool. So let's head. I'd like to head for that if that's all the same to anybody else, just because knowing where we're at is a good idea at this point.
Chase, you get back up out of the valley, and Chase, unless anyone has anything else for the Bitten Man.
Anyone
just
want to
bark.
find a Bitten before we leave?
I wanted to make sure that the honey production has ceased because we don't know what's causing this and how it might spread.
It hasn't ceased, but it's slowed down. I think there's just not enough flies for the pollen. The bees, the Bittens are a little antsy, and I don't really know why. They're not normally antsy at all around me, but
All right.
I like the language you use. Goodbye.
I like the language you use. Goodbye.
They just turn and follow Nick.
Nick,
And another shirt.
Nick walks out and and tries to basically so we've seen the a flice that's been infected, the way that it kind of moves and the speed at which it moves. Nick is looking in the current field to see if there's anyone like that and trying and watching that observation between what happens with it and a Bitten, just to see.
give me a notice check.
Cool.
I'll give you a +1 for the now knowing
What to look for.
what to look for.
Awesome. So I'll add that. So that's a +3 total with my scope.
It's going to be Team sees everything, isn't it?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
You named your team name Brass Knuckles. It should have been Optics. 16!
Jesus, mother
Christ.
of God. Okay, yeah.
You see 4 of them,
Huh.
Okay.
Optic nerve.
which is not a lot because there's at least 20 in this quote-unquote field right now.
Yeah.
Six.
The ones that are infected, the Bittens aren't exactly going near.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
You see that they're kind of
Avoiding them?
avoiding them, and you do see one reach up and take a claw swipe at a Bitten that is flying by, and the Bitten stabs it with its stinger and then continues moving on.
Does it stab it anywhere near where that moss is growing on that particular flice?
You saw it well enough that looks like the Bitten just stabbed to stab, and it was not targeting a specific thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Because so Nick's just kind of waiting for everyone to come out of the house. Nick is standing at the edge of the smoke path, just kind of looking out into the field, and then just Z.
Oh, yes? As I spiral down, there's that glitter of my hollow energy wings.
Yeah.
They're glowing the same color as my eyes, and there's a corkscrew as I come down to eye level at you.
That's so cool. You said that these things are targeting their brains, their nervous system, right?
Yes, their central nervous systems. Slowly, but it's encroaching in that direction.
So parasitic?
That would be my guess.
Okay.
It seems not alive or aware, but in much the same way that a virus or a ticks or mites, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
I sneeze.
Hey, what do I rolled for old world knowledge out of curiosity?
Do you have anything in academics, history, or you can roll common knowledge at a -2? I'll give you.
Okay, I'm gonna try that and see what I think. I have -2, it gets me to a 3. So no.
No.
Okay, Nick's just something about this seems familiar, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
Recommend you don't put your finger on it. We don't know if it can jump species. As my
Right,
eyes.
Yeah. Right.
turn.
Yeah. Thanks.
That was a very funny joke.
Well,
Being serious, Highness, but thank you. As my eyes turn a light shade of green, and I go over to Mutt. I'm like, Mistress Mutt, are you okay? Okay.
yeah, that thing got you right. I lick it off. I lick your face.
You have to understand the scale here. It's not just licking my face. It's up my torso.
Yep.
So
I am
as
a
Deirdre,
foot and
if
a
we
half
hadn't mentioned,
tall.
is about 2 feet tall at
Yeah.
most.
No, she's there we go. A foot
Foot and a half?
and a half, so 18 inches, give or
Yep.
take?
Yeah,
Toes
so
and
like
nose.
roughly yay big.
There you go, yay big.
Yeah.
This song's about what, 3 feet?
Fine, I go
I'm-
lick toes and nose.
small.
Toes and nose. Are
The whole big cartoon
All right.
the whole way up. Jesus.
Thank you, Mr. Smut. It's like
You spin around again.
my eyes shift over into like a light red, and I just go over to where the vehicle is.
All right.
Let's drive.
Does anyone
Oops.
attempt to interact with a Bitten?
If there are Bittens that looked like they were moving weird in that group, Nick would, but otherwise, nah.
The Bittens were being very standoffish. Oh, here's another thing since you all rolled so well about Psy Stalkers. Psy Stalkers animals aren't bothered by Psy Stalkers. Psy Stalkers have a natural affinity for animals.
Oh,
Great.
forgot about
It
that.
makes them amazing animal riders, but it also means that like if there is a bunch of birds, they can just walk among them without the birds going all John Woo movie, revealing their position.
Neat as shit, actually.
New character idea.
Every
I
character
have
in-
nothing for them now.
in Rifts has just awesome stuff about them.
Mhm.
That's
You go back up to chase the dog boy,
Hmm.
and it says, "All right, do you need me anymore? You want me to stick with you, or?"
I turn back to look at the group to see what their answer is.
Do you do covert shit, Chase?
Well, I'm not ex-coalition or anything. I was, born free. Coalition invented, pretty much owns most dog boys, but sometimes some get free and live out lives, and then have puppies and things. It says, yeah, I'm a freeborn dog boy, and I know my way around the wilds.
All right. Well, if you can be away from your job and your responsibilities at the town, then yeah, happy to take another set of ears and eyes. But
All right.
that's up to you.
Well, let me bring. Yeah, I got my vehicle with all the stuff in there, so.
Perfect. And I'll tell him about where we're going to this.
All right.
Fucking
Never been out that
hedge.
way, though. Yeah, I did hear that a couple nights back, but we didn't think we'd need to investigate it.
Generally, if there's an explosion, you should probably investigate it.
I think you're underestimating the amount of explosions that happen in the wilderness out here.
No,
Kaboom.
I'm lamenting a lack of manpower, and Nick gets in the car.
All right, so
I know you're a dog boy, but I don't think he meant anything by that, Master Chase.
just call me Chase.
I literally can't thank you.
I'm just
Good.
waiting, sitting on the back of Chase's bike, just sitting there with my tail doing that thumb thing that like Labradors do, like boom, boom,
Like, boom, boom. Is this happening? Yes.
Yeah. That's me right now. Just tongue out.
Good.
It's an hour ride
Good.
with Zephyrdry navigating and driving plugged into the thing.
Mhm.
The three of you are in the car for an hour. Does anyone do anything? Does it is quiet besides the sound of travel.
Yes. Vavasor waits a full minute and a half of silence to say, I am a dragon, please keep it secret.
Just utter dead silence. Zvirdry is driving. Nick is like helmet on, kind of like leans back in a chair, and then just a minute and a half later, just beautiful. Oh my god, that's so good. Oh,
In my head, it's like it's that shot through the windshield. It's just a completely flat shot.
No,
Yep.
there's some movement along the windshield, but
Yeah.
it's the same 4 frames.
Yep.
A solid
we're
minute and a
in-
half before that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good.
We're in solid Ava animation territory here now.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, they're saving on the animation costs here.
Mm-hmm.
sword does a little like,
It's just a little swerve,
'cause it's like
and then nothing.
because I'm gonna retcon a little bit of what I did last time, where I was just jamming a hand into a port, which, while hilarious and funny, I think it'd be a lot cuter if there was just a cord that disappeared up into the back under my coat that's just like plugged into something onto the thing. So I'm just sitting there cross-legged on the dashboard, this thing plugged into my brain, kind of bopping along to myself, and then that is just yes, Highness, I will endeavor to keep that to myself.
Thank you.
I don't know who I'd tell, honestly. So
Do you not have many friends?
No, I have no friends. They say it with that affectation, like there's no sadness, there's no like awareness. It's just like,
Every
oh, those?
line.
I don't have any of those.
Nick's
No.
just like, I think they were talking to me. But
Every line
to
out of
know.
your character's mouth is just
comedy gold. Great. But none that I would tell about the dragon I was particularly working with. So no, not really.
Oh.
Everyone gets confidentiality in my friend group because we're all. Anyways,
Thank you.
There's a beat, and then I just pipe up with, what about you, Mistress Mud? Have you have any friends? You seem like you have many friends.
You're close enough that you can reach with your because
yeah. I was like, I am on the
he's in
in
a
the bike.
different car entirely. Yeah.
Yeah, I am on the bike.
I
am-
oh.
Yeah, my tongue
But
is just
for the purpose of
flailing.
communication, the bike
Yeah.
is within 60 feet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I hear? Is that yeah? Okay.
Nice.
Chase is as good a driver as a future.
Yeah.
So does Mutt have any response?
What was the question again?
Do you have any
I was
friends?
still laughing.
You seem
Oh,
like you would have a
friends.
lot of friends. Have you any? Z's trying to make conversation and failing miserably.
Nice.
I think. Probably. Maybe. Yes.
Okay.
You definitely made friends a lot of places. It's just that sometimes you then move on.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was told by someone that friendship is a two-way road, and sometimes it is not two ways. So I'm going to say yes, but as to the number of them, I don't know.
well, you've got someone in your life who's willing to give you good life advice, which I would certainly count as a friend. I hope that by the end of all of this, we can count each other as friends.
I do not think they were a friend. They tried to hit me with a shoe. It's okay though.
Ah,
And entered at the mood.
It's like
Um,
I got 7 close friends.
so what's it like being a dragon?
Sorry, I didn't want to skip over. Chase, you have 7 close friends.
Close friends.
It's good. That's a lot of good friends. It's strange. It is a strange experience. Everyone is
8.
so tiny.
8 close
yeah,
friends.
that checks
I
out.
am your friend,
Close
and I am
friends.
very close to you right now.
Yeah, okay, bud.
All right, bud. I got to imagine a dog boy looks at a dog like, all right, champ, you're hanging in there.
But also, they're normally it's like, oh, hey, pal. But then like, this one can speak. Okay, bud.
Oh yeah, this would be the first time that they've actually heard it too, because I'm
No.
not being like quiet about it at this point. I was like, yeah,
No.
you have 8 friends. I am friend 2. I am close.
You drive good.
There's a very similar swerve to the one. But it's back on the road.
Anyone watching the camera pan out, you just see both cars. Just going this
Yep,
guy.
yep.
Just driving.
Oh my god. Good. As you were saying about being a dragon.
Experience, but I am young and I want to protect those that I am in a mission with. Your safety means so much to me, and that is it. I am not a great conversationalist.
Okay. All right. Not to be okay. So like, not to doubt you or anything, right? But why?
Why am I a dragon?
No, like I'm skipping over that. Why is safety paramount? Because like I understand some people's motivations, right? Like I'm here, it's my job, I do this, that's what I do. Z, you seem too formal, so I assume it's hardwired into you somewhere. And
Two form.
Mutt's a dog, so I don't.
Oof.
I just assume they're like good or something. But you're like I don't quite get yet, and that's not on you. I don't have to get you, but I am curious.
Your safety is important to me because without you, I am in danger.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I get it.
Your safety is important to me because my safety is important to me.
Mm-hmm. It's a mutual benefit then.
Yes.
Got it. All right. That solves that.
As Nick says that, however Nick is sitting, it's that moment in Into the Spider-Verse where Vavasor is like, yes, that settles that, and then just settles into place the exact same way that you're sitting.
Good.
Everyone understands the dynamic immediately. It just clicks into place. Like, I too am a cool guy.
Everybody take a Benny.
Yay!
I will give everybody a Benny. Sorry.
Cool.
I can do that.
I was like, wait a minute, we can't. Hold on.
We can't.
Still don't know how to get rid of
Kevin.
foxes.
I know I have one.
Yeah, right.
Can
Yeah.
you drag them out?
No.
Oh, that's weird.
It's
Okay.
the only box I can't open. I can't explain. Anyway.
Oh yeah, no, huh? All right, wild. Okay.
Yeah, not
yeah.
worth dealing with right now.
Nick, I think is like it's got a really one of those really fun things too, because like Nick is leaning up like in the chair with the rifle sort of propped up against their shoulder, and I don't think Vavasor has anything of that length that's comparable to like that. So it's just like there's like let's just look at Sarigama handle sort of tucked in right there, just leaning out the side. Good. Good. Amazing.
Good. It is obvious.
So, unless anyone has anything to add.
I was gonna do a thing because
Okay.
I would like to, because Nick doesn't like going into places without having looked them first. So, Z, if it's not too much trouble when you are driving, because I sort of get how that works, but not like entirely.
It's much the same way you might drive, but I can do two things at once. Yes.
Great. Can you pull that map up of Marble City you've got? I want to see that town.
Do we have... How would be like, so I don't know how equipped this vehicle is, so I don't know if this is, I can pull it onto a screen, or I can send it to a helmet, or how can I best transmit this?
Science.
Yeah.
I'm not rolling
Nick
science, you can't make me.
No, you don't. I'm just saying.
I'm
super
kidding,
science.
I'm kidding.
Nick has the visor, which has a, we'll say a secure Bluetooth, like if Bluetooth, but secure.
Yeah, right.
And reliable. Also, there is a tablet in the front of the, a tablet with a map readout on it that you could activate, but is not currently activated unless you want to.
Now, you say tablet is in the sense that like it can be like picked up and moved to like the back seat, essentially.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Then, as I'm still sitting there like cross-legged on the dashboard, a delicate metallic hand like slides across the top of the screen on that thing, and like my middle finger traces around the edge of the screen, and as it does, like it springs to life and very quickly loads in the map. And as my hand comes back around to the top of it, it just very delicately grabs the top of the tablet and reaches back, but Zephyrdry arm real short. So
yeah, Nick leans forward out of the chair to take it, and then kind of pulls back.
Here you are.
Is it a tab? Does it if I tap the tablet, does it project the map, or is it just a normal tablet?
It is at base a normal tablet, but if you would like to turn on projection mode.
Yeah. I would absolutely love to do that. And then Nick just kind of like because Nick can't talk telepathically to Mutt. But
Mutt does have an earpiece.
Oh, that's true.
Mutt has been fitted with an earpiece.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's like a earring with like a little bud on it.
That's dope as hell. Okay.
Yeah.
So Nick just goes, "Hey, Mutt, can you Okay, so like dog in the room, you're psychic. Can you see through somebody else's senses, or do you still need to use your own still?
I don't know your words.
You don't have the ability
That's the
to
one. That's what I'm asking. All right.
do that.
Yeah,
Yep. Cool.
I didn't think so. I was just in character. She doesn't understand
Yeah.
what you said.
Yeah. Nick goes, all right, never mind, and then just checks the tablet up in the car. I'll fill you in later.
I,
Or you
I
can-
have
I guess you could
my
listen in.
nose. I can smell.
Can you smell a hologram? But
But you can smell that a hologram is happening
I know it happens
because of the
I know if it's big.
ionization,
yeah.
If you use big hologram
but
or
you wouldn't be able to make out details of it
thing.
super well from outside the car.
All right. Well, just
if you use big fake thing, then I can know it's big fake thing or little fake thing. I know little fake thing and big and little fake. I know both fake things.
awesome.
You smell my wings?
I
I just start sniffing.
I would think so, because your wings kind of, your propulsion is kind of
Yeah.
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 They're
Yeah.
energy based. They're not like mechanical, so
yeah, they would, well, and you, yeah,
they're
you can
space
smell
energy.
when
So
the wing has activated, yes.
yes,
fascinating.
it smells good.
Thank
Airy,
you.
light and airy. I like it. It smells good. May I
Wild.
continue to sniff?
I'm suddenly trying to figure out what chemicals are produced when your wings are active. Anyway,
I know. I'm like,
Same,
what do I
Same.
smell?
All of us, I think, did that. We were
do
like,
you,
what
do you
does it
break
smell like,
down
though?
the ambient things and turn it into a floating? Anyway, doesn't
Just,
matter.
I feel like the way
go.
she processes that, yeah, it's just like
Good.
into things she knows.
Nice.
All right, so you've got the hologram looking at it.
Yeah. I would like, so first off, I want to put down
It
the
is
bit
far out of
where
date.
yeah, I want to put out the bit where Edwin or like mentioned there was an explosion. Like rough general area of
Yeah.
about where I'm looking. Where is that, by the way?
It is in the middle of that town.
Okay, so vaguely around the Baptist church.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, I'll say right where the Baptist church was, and that was where the explosions were noticed.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Yeah.
The explosions were about a month ago.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're coming up from Greasy. Yeah. So eventually, at some point, as long as we're driving, Nick would ask Z to take N4610, just because that comes around the other side of the house on the round and comes closer to the chapel.
You want to? Okay,
into
so
it. Yeah.
your goal here is to get an overview, an Overwatch position.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the city proper before we've gotten a chance to scope it out.
Gotcha. As you get closer, you see that there's enough of that old church still standing.
Mhm.
Apparently, someone upgraded it to a mega damage capacity place, or it's just that it hasn't been ravaged that bad by the previous couple hundred years.
Yeah.
The town is mostly like it looks like a fire took down a lot of this town, including some of the mega damage buildings.
Ooh.
When the apocalypse happened, sometimes a mega damage fire elemental would show up in a town, and the town wouldn't know how to stop it, and that town was gone.
Okay.
The church is above and across a river, so it's kind of been spared any evidence of that. It's also been several hundred years since then, so a lot of it is starting to settle. You see some growth. You see plenty of plants. You do see from this position, especially with eyes of Zephyrdries and your optics, that there are some flies moving around. There would be, what you see also is the start, what looks to be a mine entrance that has been caved out further, and a little bit past that mine entrance is, or a little bit north of that mine entrance, we'll say a half mile north of it, is where the explosion was centered. You see a massive black ship. It is a coalition sky carrier. It looks like an enormous jet without wings, using hover technology, a big skull faceplate that has been crashed into the middle of it. And you can see that there's the outline of it, But then the second explosion happened, and it looks like that second explosion was meant to destroy this. And you see it is mostly just unharvestable, like it has been made so that it cannot be scavenged. Someone wanted to make it so that nothing could be scavenged from that down ship. Basically, they hit it with nuclear phosphorus, not nuclear, but like mega damage phosphorus to reduce as much of it to ash as possible. That doesn't mean they got everything.
They probably plasma blasted this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So
They plasma scoured like the city block that thing kind of landed on.
Okay.
Which give me a battle roll.
Will do. Let's see how we do here.
Not about taking battle.
Made it.
What are your numbers? You got a 5 and a 1,
and a
5,
one,
6.
so-
So with a 5, you know that's not a standard tactic for a downed coalition. For a downed coalition vehicle. That's a Black Ops tactic for a downed coalition vehicle.
Yeah.
This someone wanted to make sure no one found what was on there.
Okay.
You said that we saw some of the flies running around in the immediate vicinity.
Yes.
Once we're stopped and we see them skidding around in the distance, over the radio to my good canine companion. Oh god, right, you told me that some people call you Mutt, but that just pick a name for you. If I might put you on a bit of an assignment, Mr. Spot, do you think you might be able to catch one of those flies?
I am good hunter. I hunt good. I hunt very good. Would you like hunt?
Yes, please. If you could just retrieve us one of those flies, it would be very helpful.
Oh,
Dead or alive?
I believe that was under survival. So go ahead and give me a survival roll.
Okay. You just hear back as I'm leaving, you just hear dead or alive.
Suppose I'm not picky?
Did you want a healthy one or one that might have the moss?
That is actually, you never did specify. So whatever the first one I come up to, yeah.
Which is all I'm looking for. Just like, if you can just grab one.
Actually, if there's enough, and if I get a good enough roll,
you want one of each?
Yeah, one of each.
All
And
right,
I'll just
well,
hold
if
them
you
by
get
like
a
their
raise,
tails.
you can get one of each. Normal will get you one, and I have already
survival.
determined what it is. So go ahead and roll your survival.
Survival. I hit the button. I hit the button. There
Oh,
You got a
oh.
10.
I did it. I am
Which,
good hunter.
The difficulty was 4, and you got a 10.
I done boofed them real good.
You get 2
I'm sorry,
different
you what?
flies. Boofed?
Yeah, boof. Like
Done
it's a
boofed,
bark.
no, done
But
boofed them
is that
real
a
good.
is that a
That's a
not
different thing.
That a different thing? Okay.
Whatever.
Never mind.
You know what? It's great.
innocent
I love
brain
it.
has
I'm a big
no
fan.
idea.
Just get out there and just
you know what?
boof
Let's
them real
just put it to
good.
the Supreme Court and move on.
Scoop up those field mice and boof them on the head, baby.
I'm
Let's
too
go.
innocent for you guys.
Anyway, you
Love to boof.
Again.
moving on from that word entirely. You come back with one of each. With one that has moss and one that does not.
And they're just in my like the tail is just hanging in my mouth and I just bleh.
Okay, well, hang on. Before you just blood them, are they alive or dead? How'd you bring them back?
Did you want them to be alive? Probably not.
I didn't specify.
They're alive.
They're moving a bit. The one that is
Okay.
Well, yeah,
moss is moving slower.
yeah, as I was coming back, I was definitely doing like the whole puddle thing, so I probably got like full.
Yeah, they are rattled at least.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
And then when they go down, I just put my paw on both tails. Just hold them.
Oh my god, so cute. Oh, you are an excellent hunter. Thank you.
Both of the flies start attempting to like claw and bite at Mutt's paws, but it does not seem to affect Mutt.
Okay. Well, then the strange moss is definitely here as well. Can you track the scent of it?
Yeah, I was just thinking, the closer I got to the caves to get to the flies, did I start sneezing more? Like did I get that
Yeah,
mossy
you can still
scent
smell
more?
the moss on him. It is the same moss.
Yeah. Was it stronger that direction?
You are getting, when you were around town, you
Yeah.
smelt a lot more of it. So you're thinking this
Yeah.
is a probably, I mean, it doesn't take a lot for a bot with any intelligence to go, this is definitely closer to the source if there's that much more of it here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Excellent. Ooh. Bless you. uh,
Oh, yes, I am.
it's just very curious. Like my eyes shift like 3 different colors, looking at you. Like, wait. Um.
They are still biting my toes.
Oh, you can let them go now. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got a full diagnostic read. You're
I
good.
let them.
Yeah, it's just they're definitely here. There's definitely a scent that Mutt can track. Fantastic. So I turn to Nick. Ranger Nick, once you've established your Overwatch position, I believe we might be able to have Mistress Spot lead us deeper into the city and find out perhaps where the source of this is coming from.
Yeah, sounds good. And Nick is going to kind of look up at all the church nearby and go, and is there like a it's me. So is there a freaking bell little
There
bit
is
up
no
top?
bell. There was once.
There was a bell, but there's a bell little nook up there.
There is, in fact, a steeple.
Great. That's where Nick's going.
It's entirely a Fallout church, by which I mean a church you find in Fallout 4.
Yep. I got you.
There's a box with a soda in it and
Oh, nice.
a healing pack from 400 years ago that's still good for some reason. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Uh,
Also, several bottle caps someone stashed 300 years ago for no apparent reason either.
you do find just the weirdest stash of bottle caps of all things.
Nice.
Their blue coat there too.
There is a
Like
Revolutionary War reenactment
Yeah.
coat, but it is falling to pieces and won't do anything.
That's fair.
It doesn't have any stat bonuses on it, so
Oh, well, fair
it's
enough.
just vendor trash.
Vendor trash, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
you make your way up there. Give me a notice just for a good look of the town, and I will see what that gets you.
No, it is.
Will
No.
do.
Just Nick or everybody?
Just
who's
Nick,
Okay.
because Nick's
Okay, let me
doing what Nick do.
12.
but
Okay.
I see stuff real good. I see stuff and shoot stuff. That's the goal.
Between your early battle roll and this, you
Yeah.
You get a +4 to look at it stuff? Just am I reading that right?
it's a +2.
Oh, +2,
Plus
+2.
Yeah, I get a
Apologies,
+2.
+2. I am reading that wrong. Don't mind me. You
No
see stuff
worries.
real good though. Damn.
I
Yeah,
do
like
see
I
stuff.
said, everybody
Yeah.
gonna make their notice checks most of the time.
You
Mhm.
see things real good. I get things real good. We do good
You
things.
see the ship going down. And this is where I have to apologize because I don't remember off the top of my head what I said at the beginning of session 1. Was it 2 weeks ago or was it a month ago? I'm saying it was a month ago.
That sounds
Because the prologue to episode 1 was someone pulling down one of these ships out of the sky.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's this ship.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
1 month
First
ago.
off,
It was a month
one.
ago.
Good, so I did get it right.
Yay, notes.
Hooray.
I've got my notes.
I didn't build a timeline for this game. I didn't think I need one. I have in the past. Anyway, the ship went down.
Mhm.
It went down hard, killing, you'd say even people in mega damage armor would probably have died from this.
If not the first explosion, then the second, probably.
Well, the second one came a day later,
Oh,
which means there was time for things to happen in between. You do notice
interesting.
that there does seem to be some, like, it's hard to say because the scorch mark is big, but there does seem to be
Mhm.
a soldier, a coalition soldier. The body of a coalition soldier is lying dead off the path outside of the burn marks. So clearly something either dragged that soldier away or something else happened.
Okay.
You're not close enough to make out details on wounds and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But something survived that plane crash.
Okay.
Should we go to there?
I was indeed, while Nick is climbing up the tower, I would have buzzed over to Vavasaur and just said, Your Grace, if you'd be so kind as to join myself and Spot to make our way into the city.
You want me to play middle? Says Chase, speaking up for the first time in several minutes.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah.
From the
Who
tower.
the fuck is that?
You know what? I can take the tower if you want to go closer.
You see Nick's head pop down over the steeple to look at Chase's gun and go, "Nah, mine's bigger." And then like sits back down and goes, "Why don't you take a post by the river?"
Will do.
I look at Vav.
There is a stray Bitten here, just making meowing noises in the distance.
Good.
I love them.
Amazing.
I love them. I look at Vav and I kind of do that little like that little play, like
Right.
the little play thing like this, and then I book it towards the city, like race you, and then I just
Good.
I just
As
little
you go
tail.
towards the city, this is old ruins that have been grown over. There are cars that are underneath a hill. There's your classic post-apocalyptic views here. There's showing of actual animals. There's actual deer prints. There are I'm trying to think. There are some dinosaur prints as well.
Mhm.
And one of the dinosaurs apparently rubbed against something and left some feathers behind. There's there are birds around in the city. This is an area that has been mostly reclaimed by nature, except none of that nature is still here except for the flies, pretty much.
You mentioned birds. Are there birds active in the
There
middle of
are
the
not.
night?
There are no, but you're not in the middle of the night. You're still, I will say sundown is down now.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm sorry I didn't establish.
I thought
time.
it was later because of the travel time. My apologies.
It was only an hour after dark happened, so. And we'll say it's a full moon, so visibility isn't terrible. Though I believe all of you have ways to negate penalties for light, so.
Yeah, I literally cannot have any illumination penalties.
Yeah. And dragon eyes and dog sniff, etc. You travel through this. There are bits of ruins of buildings long ago picked over. You see an empty cash register just turned upside down with everything taken out of it to indicate that it is empty. You travel through this small town that is right on the edge of a quarry, and you get down to the one coalition soldier's body. It's kind of quiet in town, except for the skittering of the flies. You don't hear any bats. You hear some insects. There's cicadas around. There's small things.
Small things? There are a wide variety of small things?
I'm not going to say. Anyway.
Is it in fact all the small
It is not
things?
all of them. There is not. Some of them have gone missing as well. Hate that song so much. Anyway.
I'm so sorry.
That song is the worst.
Is this the kind of city that would have fire hydrants?
It would have had fire hydrants.
Great. There are a
God
few
damn
that
it,
are
while I'm
wet
taking
now.
a drink, Maxine. God damn it.
Did you
Amazing.
miss me?
I did.
Amazing.
Well, a few of them are wet now, so continue. It's fine. I just.
All right.
Look, it was a long trip, okay?
It was.
Okay.
It's a really long trip.
Absolutely.
As the only half the team produces biological output. Anyway,
Yeah.
True.
It's a really long trip.
the Chase is with y'all as well, and you're all on high alert and notice. The thing is, since that plasma burst, everything here smells like plasma, or old plasma burst. And so that's kind of fouling your nose senses a little bit, but you all make your way to the body safely. Nothing seems to be laying in wait for you.
I'm
So,
just keeping an eye out.
I
does
walk up and
anyone?
sniff.
So yeah, the body is there. It appears this body. Does anyone have first aid they'd like to roll to know
I was just
anything
gonna
about
sniff
bodies?
the body and see if there was anything on the body like this mold or something.
There is
or
no mold on the body.
Does it? How old does it smell? Like
Several
decay.
days, or it smells about a month old.
Okay,
so it's decaying normally. Cool.
Mostly. But yeah, you to get any more than that, I'll need a first aid or science roll.
First aid is not a thing in this, but medicine is.
Medicine. That's
Oh, there you
I
go.
preferred medicine roll.
Or healing, actually. Healing and medicine are the things in
Oh,
this.
I
Right.
has healing. I will sniff for healing. No, I won't.
All right,
Don't-
but you did get a 4 though. You got a 1 and a 4.
Okay.
A 4 is still a success. Don't
Okay,
forget.
cool.
This person died through a sword through their chest.
Is the sword in their chest?
There is no sword.
Okay.
Mm.
Literally, because I feel like I puddled up to it first. I just kind of puddled, I sniff, and I just put my hand over the
Yep.
I put my paw on the chest
It is
mark.
mega
just-
damage armor.
Ooh.
It is classic Dead Boy armor, which is black armor with white accents and a skull face. This person is wearing kind of a modified version of that, indicating some kind of specialty.
Mhm.
And this is a ranger, meaning it's got like a camo cape actually, and it has little. It does not have any spikes, because that would indicate it was psychic. But it has one eyepiece larger than the other, indicating that it was likely a ranger unit, some kind of go and do stuff unit.
What does the
or
mask look like?
trooper.
You said.
It is like a skull face
Okay.
with one big eye socket. One regular size kind of eye hole, and the other has like a eyepiece over it.
Is it
Um,
possible for
in a
me to
box.
pull it off?
You use your opposable thumbs. No, it is
No,
not.
like take my teeth and just like and like.
You could
pull
doing
it.
that would break the corpse.
I mean, it's dead.
Good.
There's also a very tall, very powerful person with opposable thumbs standing right next to you as well, if you need assistance.
It would be messy and smelly. That's the thing. Like being around corpses isn't fun for dogs.
That's fair.
I pulled the dog off the corpse.
Well,
just it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I just look at you with the biggest eyes. Did you not want a new mask?
I would enjoy a new mask, but it is not necessary from this creature. I'd like my eyes to flash, and I would like to use my dragon eyes to look over this body.
Give me
This
a
cadaver.
Do you still
Cassie
have
roll.
me under your?
Yeah, I'm hopefully holding a dog. Yeah.
Good.
It is dog weight.
Uh,
It is super light for you.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's okay. I am just dead weight. I'm just like.
Good. Good.
Just one hand on dog.
Droopy limbs and wagging
What
tail.
is your roll number? A 2 and a 4. So
Mhm.
the 4 is
Made
a
it.
success.
Huzzah!
All right. It has been a month, but there is still the faintest trace of psychic residue on that sword wound.
Hmm. Do I see any trails of it from the explosion, or is it just like lingering on the wound itself?
The wound itself was such a killing blow and psychic wound that it would leave a bigger impact. But there is there is a trail actually. There is a strong psychic trail.
Ooh, I'd smell it then.
Great.
You do start to smell it too, but it starts to go towards the marble caves,
My head.
Oh,
kinda
towards the
drifts
mines.
Yeah.
towards the mines. Yes, the
That-
mines.
My head
out.
drifts that way. Just.
Yeah, I start pointing along with Goldie with my.
Are you literally just walking with me as
Well, I'm
And-
holding a dog and you start sniffing, so I'm
Yeah,
like, yes,
that's
yes.
fair. That's fair. I will stay in your arms. I was just curious if I was walking or if you were just following my nose. Cool. I just point you in the direction, and I'll just put my paw up every time you go the right direction. Just. Yeah.
All right.
Sure. Okay.
So it's clear that something with a strong psionics survived this and then made its way into the
Into the
caves.
mud. Yep.
As you head towards the caves, I think that's a good spot to take a break.
Good
Cool.
spot. Bing.
We're gonna try to keep it 5 minutes.
Okay.
I know I sometimes have trouble with that, but I
Don't
will.
worry, I'll
That's
yell
it.
at people, make the stream go live at 5-minute mark regardless.
Well, if I'm not
Great.
here, it doesn't. Anyway. Oh yeah, that's true.
I'll be
Um,
here.
I'll
that's
be
true.
here.
You're the one that does it.
Yeah.
So
You
we're
think I
gonna try
can't
to keep
vamp?
it
Let's
short.
go. Test me.
5 minutes. Be short. You are a person. Remember to use the bathroom. Get up, move around, stretch your limbs. Be hydrated.
Water
So,
hydrant.
real quick, once again, grinding the opposite of hydration, coffee. The grinding coffee company, 10% discount with discount code Gunmetal Blues, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Bye.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt. Been real bad. I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt.
keep on wandering along. Got this falling floor, and since then I have been everything you want. Everything you complete, everyone we try to master. Close the gate and buckle up, my gasoline is everything we want. Handcuffed by the station, dying to hear everything I'm not. Let me be the one to tell the devil there's no reason to go on. And I see the mask of you should people seem to like you even more. Yeah. The moon is getting brighter and the shivering goes down into the bone. I've got no place else to go. No, 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 no.
I didn't time us, but I'm sure we're good. Anyway,
Definitely 5. Definitely 5.
sure.
Exactly 5.
It was-
We're on time.
Super weren't, but that's okay.
You'll never know on the YouTube.
They will, because
That's okay. It's fine.
why would you bother to edit this out of the YouTube? Anyway, there is.
Get with me after the show. Never mind.
They could just jump ahead 5 minutes.
Yes, but you could.
No, heavily disagree with that, but okay.
Strong disagree.
Would you like to do the editing?
Well, for this channel, what are you paying me?
Exactly. So,
Welcome back, everybody.
It's 2 button clicks. What do you mean?
I don't know what it takes.
Okay,
Live with
It's
it.
not- more than
2 buttons.
It's more than 2 buttons. Because
Anyway.
it's cut, delete, and then you got to render that shit out.
Okay,
That's
so
the-
4 buttons, and then you wait and you walk away and
Hey,
have
what's in
lunch.
the cave, Kevin?
So, the
I
the
smell
thing
things.
is, you've seen this coalition corpse, and Nick, you know that is a coalition special ops
Yep.
heavy armor unit. So whatever was on there was not normal, and something put a sword through its chest, which is not easy.
I did take the time to explain the little traces on the wound to everybody too.
So that
Glad
that
somebody
is a
did.
good indication that it was some kind of psychic sword. Psychic
Sword-
swords are famously used by cyber knights, but plenty of other people can use them as well.
Gotcha.
But to have gone through that armor in what looks to be a single blow indicates something powerful. And the trail leads into the cave. You start to follow the trail and you get outside the cave. Or the mines.
Mhm.
We want to enter the mines, and perhaps Chase can keep a lookout.
I am still in your arms, so I will also enter the cave.
Yeah, as I'm walking holding a dog, this is what I'm asking. Just set the scene for everybody.
It's great. Yep.
Nice. You beautiful.
I adore this, by the way. I'm totally down for it. I like running, but I also like love and being held and cuddled, so it works.
I mean, lightly backlit by my glowing wings. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see you
buzz
just
in.
absent-mindedly like scrooching.
Now here's the thing, Nick, you're still up in the
Good dog.
Overwatch. You don't
Yep.
have line of sight into the
The
mines.
cave. No, I don't.
Do our communicators go that long?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And if
Nick-
those don't, my brain definitely does.
As basically as Nick is watching the three of them do their thing and like watches them go towards a cave, look at each other, and then go into a cave, Nick just like lifts one eye up from a scope, like, and then just settles back in to watch the door.
Okay.
But also like as they're going in, just kind of radios in to be like, Vavasor, you might not want to turn into a dragon around here.
Thank you. I wasn't planning on it. Caves are very small.
No, I meant out of the cave. If there's something that can take down a coalition knight and it is watching to scout it, they'll know. So, last resorts, all right?
Understood. Thank you, Nick.
And then
Out of game. That was so cool.
I know.
As you get into the cave, it becomes someone roll me any kind of tracking.
Me.
Tracking.
Anyone who has any kind of tracking can roll it.
None whatsoever.
I don't have tracking, but I have survival.
Survival, yes. Tracking is
Yay.
no longer a skill, I believe.
Ooh, I
This
got
is
a
what
4 and a
happens when I
5.
have multiple things in my brain. Yeah, tracking's part of survival.
Well,
Yeah.
nice.
Correct.
I got that lifetime voice mod back in the day. I'm gonna goddamn use it.
Done.
Paid $20 in 2020. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think I did it.
Steel.
Sorry, what numbers did you roll? A 5 and a 4?
Uh-huh.
Your 5 and a 4 is a success. A number of animals and other things have been dragged into this cave. Basically, it looks like anything that was larger than like a dog. You can see they're clearly like deer, like parts of like a deer corpse has been dragged through, a couple of animal corpses, what look to be some kind of dinosaur claw marks. Further down into this cave system. It opens up into a wider selection of caves. There's a number of paths.
Oh.
So would someone like to roll me a notice?
I do point
Or
that out to the
everyone
group.
who's there, give me a notice.
I point that out by a slow, low growl. Looking
Officer
down.
gets a 2.
Oh,
Gets 2, which is still a
Oh.
failure.
It did not. My notice did not go off.
Yeah.
there it goes.
I did it
Damn.
Mutt gets
I
an
did
11.
it
Let's see-
again.
See what Zafirji gets, because that will give different information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am good dog. I do.
s-
I do one thing.
Specifically, as we come up and it's like, oh, this thing's probably honeycombed. I hover down to the cave wall and like spread my arms out and kind of press it against it and start like vibrating a little bit because I'm trying to see what I can see through like sonar and seismic
shimmy.
throughout the get an idea of it.
Sonar's going to give you something.
Cute little shimmies.
I'll give you a +2 for sonar.
Oh,
Mhm.
I already get a +4 in notice rolls for what it's worth.
Okay, then you're good.
Yeah, just
That's already factored in then.
it's already factored into how rad I am. I'm just flavoring it. It's totally okay, which is good because I rolled a 2 and a 1, so that
Well,
is a 6.
think of Benny.
So I get a hit.
For being cool and doing that.
Oh, thank you.
Yay!
Meaning you, since I can't change yours for some reason, you're up to 3, 2? I forget.
Should be 2. It should be 2 bennies.
Okay.
I have 2 bennies.
All right. And you got a 7?
I guess,
Really?
no, I got a 6.
A 6, which is not a raise, but. So
It's a hit.
we're gonna go with the regular roll first. The vibrations go out. The walls are partially marble here. The floor is dirt, so that kind of bounces things weirdly. But the marble reflects it beautifully. And as your sonar pulse kind of goes through, it hits two humanoid bodies and a small bus. No, not a small bus. I'm sorry. A
Cat
small
bus?
sedan
Cat
sized
bus?
thing.
3 humans and a sedan?
Three humanoid shaped
3 humanoids
bodies
and a sedan.
Yeah,
And
like
a
Sonar's not gonna
sedan.
get. It's just gonna be like thing.
in
It's a
a
new
room
sitcom.
that is somehow squishy and kind of absorbs a lot of sound.
Oh, great.
Ugh.
Almost as though the walls were covered with what mud is smelling, which is a massive amount of this moss.
That checks
I
out,
have a
yep,
very
okay.
low growl / whimper happening in your arm.
Every now and then you can smell moss being moved around as though something is walking on it. And it kicks up more of the moss. The thing is, 2 of these things are not on the ground. 2 of them are on the sides of the walls. So whatever you're dealing with can walk on the sides of walls, is not bothered by the moss whatsoever. And there are 3 bodies and 1 big thing, which does seem to be moving a little bit as well. There's
do
a
I-
beat,
Ooh.
and then there's a noise. Vavasaur, how's your hearing?
What would that be measured by? My
Do you
notice?
have any of your edges or special abilities?
I think it's just my eyes
Okay.
and my stank old dragon breath.
Is
Gotcha.
that what
You-
I get too?
No, because you have dog hearing,
Hmm.
and Zephyrdry clearly hears it as well.
Mhm.
There's a chittering.
Mm.
There's a language being spoken between things that are communicating in an ultrasonic volume.
Oh shit.
Ugh.
There's only 3 of them, but they're communicating with a 4th thing. The big thing is apparently communicating with them in this ultrasonic language.
My
Can I-
ears sort of okay.
Both our ears go.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
because
ears
it would-
perk up, yeah.
Mine's actually reflexively like swivel backwards as I take my hands off the wall and just relay to the others. Oh, there's someone down here, and I turn towards Mutt. Do you hear that?
I also sneeze again.
Can I cast speak language?
Yes.
I do that.
Now, okay, here's the thing though. You can cast speak language, but you can't hear it.
It's on a frequency that I can't hear
yeah.
Can you
anyway.
cast speak language on
Mhm.
others?
I can for an additional PowerPoint,
Ooh.
which is such a fun sentence to say. Oh, I have so many PowerPoints.
You
Yeah,
really
I
do.
really do.
Oh no.
If I could, I would like to cast it on the main 4 of us.
There's only 3 of you there, because
Oh yeah, Nick is in
Okay.
over.
Nick's up on
Nick
the bell
don't
tower,
need it.
and Chase is staying outside.
Yes, I'd like to cast speak language on myself, Zephyrdry, and sorry, there's a Bitten in here. And my
There is a bit now.
It's just chilling. It's chasing the flies.
Flies.
Flies, yeah. They're just
So
little-
go ahead and roll your casting skill.
yes, I guess spellcasting. Or,
Yep, you got a 4. Spell goes off perfectly. All of you, read the spell real quick.
Yes, please do.
Not if you could read the
there
spell.
it is.
Oh, you were looking
yeah,
for it.
I was just pulling out. No problem. This power allows a character to speak, read, and write a sapient language other than their own. Come on, babe. Raise on the arcane skill. I didn't get a raise. That's fine.
Nah,
Oh no, did I?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
You're so excited there for a second.
Wait! The power may affect more than one target for the additional power points, so I'm spending 3 power points to get. Oh, wait, no, 2 power points to get the other 2. If that's okay.
Great, love it. All right. So the skill. How do you cast? What does it look like when you cast the spell?
It's a great question. What does it say it looks like when I cast this spell?
It,
No, it doesn't
it,
give me anything?
it doesn't
give you
it says,
that.
yeah, that's the cool
Ooh,
thing about
okay.
Suede is you get to pick. It's whatever you want it
Okay.
to look like.
This is
Alright,
what is
dude.
sometimes called trappings, and it can sometimes have effects, but don't worry about
But
it.
yeah.
They're always
Nice.
beneficial to you unless it's like I put ice on the fire guy. Go ahead.
Okay. Dope. So I'd say that because Zephyrdry and Mutt can hear this, but I can't actually hear this, they bring it to my notice of like, do you hear that? And I'm like, no, I don't. But I do try to pay attention enough, and behind Vavasor's mask, their mouth just starts moving, their lips just start moving, mimicking whatever sounds are coming from deeper in the mines, and then that motion of just like their mouth moving, making motions, I look down at Zephyrdry and Mutt and just make a little psychic connection with them, and they understand what is being said.
I will say that it's hard to see your mouth moving because of the mask.
The mask?
Oh no, it's like it's not a
Yeah,
no.
it's the.
It's like it's the action of linking up psychically with something of like okay,
Yeah.
cool, transfer.
Gotcha.
All right. The spell washes over you. It is apparent that a spell's been cast on you. If you want to try to fight against it, you could, but
Yes.
there was no indication of it being an aggressive spell. You can now both hear.
That's exciting.
You can now both hear what they're talking about, and what they're saying is, "Bring me more of it. Scrape that bit off the wall. Give it to me now." Yes, my queen. And then the other two going, yes, my queen.
As I'm hearing this, I relay all of it in as close of an approximation of those voices in American as I can to the other people.
Well, it's
Because
like an
I-
audiobook.
Because I
like
can mimic
translated
voices with
audiobook.
almost perfect clarity. And I'm not trying to fool anybody with it, so it's just enough to differentiate that there's
Get
three
the
different
point of it.
speakers.
Well, the three different, there is the queen and the three all
four.
sound, yes, my queen.
Ooh.
Gotcha.
They all sound the same. Shit.
Some drone
They all sound
shit.
very, like, they are different
similar.
beings, but no, like, and then another order is given to move those to the side. I'm not ready for them yet. Yes, my queen.
All
It
this
will
is
be done,
coming-
my queen.
This is all coming.
I was
Nick
gonna
can hear
say,
this as
yeah.
well.
Hell
This
yeah.
is all coming out of Zephyrdry's mouth and communications hardware.
So these things down here are advanced, intelligent, and feeding their queen.
I kind of look at the two and just kind of give them both the like, what are we doing? And then I kind of like, I check.
Yeah, I put Mutt down.
Oh,
I just kind of
Put
Yeah,
Mutt
just a
down,
little
bad
huh.
dog.
Oh, I
forever?
It takes me 2 seconds longer to understand jokes. Okay.
Yeah. No, I know. Anyway,
Good.
Mistress Yeller.
You're awful. I got Howard right away.
the dog is
That's
Mutt is
not my
placed
name. You call me
on the
Goldie Knight.
floor.
Yes.
Would Mutt like to sneak forward?
Yes.
Sneak, roll sneak.
Sneak or stealth? Is there a difference?
It's the same thing to me. I don't remember
Okay.
what verb they use.
Stealth is what they use in this game.
Stealth.
Yes.
Yep.
Stealth, yes.
You got a
I
2 and a 1.
Oy, no.
That is
I-
not a success.
I'm gonna use I want to call them Bittens now, but this is not it. But
Spend
You wanna
a
bend
spend
it.
a bitten.
that one.
Spend a
I'm
bitten.
spend bitten.
And a biddy.
That's better.
That's way better, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That doesn't seem to work. I
Let
gotta
it
figure out a better way to do
go,
bennies. Yeah,
let
you
it
get a
go.
5. There we go. So you've succeeded in getting closer. It's kind of hard because there's a lot of moss in that cave. So it's uncomfortable to have that much of a bad scent.
Yes. Trying not to sneeze really hard. I like have my tongue over my nose, just like, like trying not to
And,
sneeze. so
but you're
bad.
also being very careful about where you stand, and you're not
Yeah.
going to sneeze.
Yeah.
You're confident in your abilities. The sneezing is you clearing it out of your snout,
Yeah.
but in this case, that doesn't do much good. So why
No,
sneeze?
it's
Your
just-
brain tells you.
It's just chilling there. Oh no.
Your danger sense is going off. This is I don't know if you have the danger sense ability. I forget. But
Nope.
this is
No,
a
but I
dangerous
was. I think it
situation.
would be a good thing to have at some point.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well,
that
we'll
was
see
the-
what happens
yeah.
at the end of the night. This is a
Okay.
dangerous situation. You peek your head around and you see a black-clad man-sized insect with chitinous arms scraping moss from the walls. It's big. It is about 6 feet tall.
Mhm.
Its wings flutter behind it very briefly. You see another one moving a bunch of kind of translucent sacks with its enormous kind of grabby arms. It has smaller arms up top, but it's got like enormous scoop kind of arms. It is moving what look to be these eggs, it was called, kind of towards the back of the room. They're the dead deer and another couple other dead bodies are in here. They are in various stages of decomposition. There's quite a few bones, and there is one of the things scraping off the stuff that has scraping off the moss, has 4 arms and does have some kind of long tube on its back.
Do I have full visual of the whole room?
You can't quite see whatever the queen is yet.
Okay,
But if
I
you
would
go a little further, do you tempt fate?
I would like to go all the way down and do just a tiny, like 2 or 3 of like little doggy inches. Just like
All right.
I just want to get a peek of what the big thing is.
As you come around, you see. Let me get the full description.
I'm just doing that little doggy like
This is a big thing. It is an enormous bug-faced thing. Plated, armored face chitin with kind of antennae coming off of it, mandibles at its jaw, 4 arms. Yes, 4 arms, a set of wings kind of around it like a cape, and an enormous thorax that seems to be full of glowing eggs.
beans. I give a sniff really quick and then just to get like a last bit of and then back out of situation.
They smell dangerous.
Mm.
And roll a notice because there is a thing you would probably get out of this.
They smell dangerous is a real fucked up thing to say and scares me.
Okay, a 3 and a 6.
All right, your
There's
6
6.
is enough. They
Cool.
smell psionic.
I do the
But
yes.
you don't know what these are.
Don't know.
Or do you? Roll a common knowledge.
Okay. I will roll my d4. I am smart. I am so smart, guys.
You got a double 1. You've never seen one of these before in your life.
Guys, I'm smoot.
You've
I
never
got the
been there.
smoots.
So smoot. Big smoot.
Smoot. Big smoot.
Clearly, it's bug nannies
Mm-hmm.
for this egg queen.
Mm-hmm. I used to chase things like this as a pup, but these things would chase me as a dog. I'm leaving.
I get out and you see me as I'm walking towards you guys. I'm doing that like that dog walk, that like really slow, like semi-hunched dog walk. Just walking, and my eyes are just kind of like. But I'm coming around the corner to you guys like that. Like it takes me an obnoxiously long time to get to you guys. I don't want to wake these things or let them know that we're here, or they're already awake. But
They have excellent senses, but so far you've managed to not make enough noise to. They have rolled. I have made some rolls that they have not noticed you yet.
What
So
did you
what you-
find?
I'm just gonna lay down at your feet.
Them's big bugs. Them's
Now-
real big bugs.
Do you transmit an image?
Oh, can I do that?
You speak psionically.
Oh, that's cool.
Whoa.
You just hear them's big bugs, and then your mind is like flooded with the picture.
A couple things happen all at once.
Yeah.
Zephyrdry, this is the first time anything like this has ever happened to you. You didn't know it was possible to get a picture in this text thread. That is how you understand Mutt's dialogue.
Yeah.
Is it like a Kodiak camera picture, like with
It
like
has
the
the
dialogue
Polaroid
underneath
frame
it?
on it
Yeah,
for some reason.
Polaroid frame
That's
picture
it,
and
yeah.
a Discord attachment.
However,
like-
it is.
Yeah.
You are a
Just
dog.
big bug.
It is in black and white.
Yes. Or like Sepha. Yeah, black and white.
Sepia? Well,
Yeah,
it
sepia.
is. It is in
The
colorblind dog.
dogs are
Yeah.
colorblind. They're not. They don't have black and white color blindness. But
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
It is in dog vision. Go ahead and
Okay.
roll me, Zephyrdry. Go ahead and roll me any knowledge skill, whichever is highest.
That would be common knowledge.
Okay.
Got that at a D8 plus 2. So.
They are dark and darker dark, and some are
Some
light
really
and
mad
lighter
Bittens
light.
around.
Yeah. 9.
That's a hit with a raise. This tells you, another thing is going to happen. Then I'll give you the information because I want to say how this is flavored for Vavasor. Vavasor, give me a whatever is higher, your occult, your common knowledge. Give me a roll on stuff. All right, that's a 3. Your instincts kick in and say, that thing needs to die. That's dangerous. We kill them when we see them, or this planet is dead. Zephyrdry.
Mm-hmm.
An image immediately pops into your databanks. It's an image of 2 people being killed as they fall through a Zytikic hive. Zytikics are world-conquering bugs. And the images that were captured in their video feed before they were killed are some of the only known footage of a Zytikic queen. Normally they get killed as soon as they possible, and for some reason it's hard to photograph them and other things. And the information's not that spread. The Tomorrow Legion actually has a store of information on Zytikics and knows that they are a huge world-ending problem, that the Tomorrow Legion is not on the tier to fight yet. Normally they're the size of a small building, a Zytikic queen. The other beings in there are a worker, a nanny, and a warrior. A Zytikic queen, when she's fully grown, is capable of massive psionic feats. A young Zytikic queen is capable of immense psionic feats. This seems to be a basically newborn psionic queen, or Zytikic queen. This is the smallest, like none has ever been registered at this size. This is the smallest one you've ever heard of, or anyone would have heard of. And you rolled super high, so a strain of knowledge goes through you. Did you? Yeah, you rolled with a raise, yes.
I hit with a raise.
Clearly, the Coalition somehow got their hands on a young Zytikic queen. Not a young, like a fresh young Zytikic queen. Was attempting to bring it to a place called Lone Star Laboratories in Texas, where they do their med science. Got taken out of the sky from some unknown factor. And that was never intended to happen. It was never intended. The Coalition apparently didn't know about this happening. Someone made choices at a high enough power level that, like, this wasn't a thing the Coalition was doing. This was that squad were the only people that knew about it. Because taking a Zytikic queen and putting it somewhere chances another hive existing. And Zytikic spread. That's what they do. What if ants ate moss that they grew themselves?
Well, it's
And
like
just-
Wreck-It Ralph.
And just killed everything that was in their way. Sometimes they war between themselves, but this is clearly such a dangerous thing. The closest Zytikic hive to you is up north in no, not Toledo. Let me zoom out. And I believe it is North Dakota, Fargo. The Fargo hive is the southmost known Zytikic hive. You're in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They were clearly trying to get to a base in Texas. They got somehow rerouted and then taken out, and it took a day before someone could try to start their cover up. But in that day, the Zyticket Queen made their way to these caves.
I have one very brief follow-up question. Is my knowledge of the Zytigics something that predates my arrival on Earth?
Your knowledge, you have heard of them before.
Okay.
They are known that if they are on your world, do something about it.
Okay. Got it.
Now there's just so much crazy shit happening in Rifts
Sure.
that this is the slowest they've ever spread in any recorded history that anyone has.
Okay.
Your information while at Castle Refuge was much more in depth. That's how you know different types of them. Now,
Okay.
what you have here is dangerous, but if you kill it now,
Oh yeah, no, yes. Hi. Fox is actually somewhat familiar with the Zytigics. This is a delight for me. Thank you. I just wanted to know to flavor my knowledge-based situations so that when I that information comes into my head and after my like right eye settles, because that's new and weird and it falls it shifts over to the green spectrum and then falls into like a deep forest green as this this little robot kind of shrinks a little bit and just says the words Zytigics.
that comes over the radio.
I didn't. I mean, I sort of knew there were some on this planet, but this is a lot bigger than a honey situation. We need to blow up this entire cave.
With my hackles raised because of all that psionic information implanted, and it's just the territorial dragon kicking in.
Yeah.
Vavasaurus just like does that reptilian lizard thing where they just dip low and they see out of their eye line. They're just, we have to regroup.
Yeah, yes, Ranger Nick, we need you, immediately, please.
Quick tactical question before I go there. How much mega damage and armor does the ground have?
Not a lot.
Yeah, a lot of MVC and dirt.
Here's the thing.
Right?
The Zytigic do reinforce their hives, but that takes a lot of workers. Something they don't have much of.
Right.
Here.
So my question is, can Z paint a target so I can shoot into the mine?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Hell yes.
It will
that's
take
fucking
some
cool.
rolls,
Okay.
but
I'm
I
down.
love it. So
Love it.
Give me that division targeting shit, Z.
Yeah, I have my little paws crossed and my head's on my and I'm looking up like, don't make me go back in there right now.
Yeah, so from
Z, go ahead and give me a notice with your full
Well,
bonuses.
Well, hang on.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
I say that to Nick, and then Nick, I want to give
Yeah,
them an opportunity
so
to respond.
over the radio, you just hear, sorry, did you say Zytigic?
Juvenile Queen, I think.
Every mercenary knows
Yep.
that is the next war.
I think in the most uncharacteristically like, because Nick has been mostly kind of chill the whole time, is just a oh fuck no, and then like you hear and Z, can you light them up from in there for me?
I blink a couple times. My little ears kind of zerch back up. I can try to relay topographical data.
Triangulate and send it straight to the visor.
Understood.
Vavasaur, Mutt, don't be in the room. Just don't.
Can I be a dragon now?
Zephyrdry just starts nodding and very emphatically at
Space in
you.
there to be a dragon, or is being a
It's-
dragon and they're a bad idea, right? Like,
Oh no, just at all, just at all whatsoever.
Now,
Like,
the
can I
thing
do
is, the
that?
chamber they're in is huge. It's the
Okay.
big hollowed out kind of mined out area of the marble.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can
Um,
literally go in there, light them up.
And oh, I don't know how marble mines work, but this is how they work here in this town.
Sure.
Eh. Pulp
I'm
Fiction.
sorry, I don't spend time in Italy.
Pulp.
Yeah, I get it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a marble. It's an old marble mine. It's a new marble alien hive start. So now it's different. Who cares?
Yeah.
When we
So-
hit the
so
walls,
I-
they're gonna look like polystyrene. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I hear you guys over the mic saying it. You got this. You got this. So Mutt just kind of stands up and just starts puddling out of the.
Are you leading the
Seriously.
cave?
What I'm
Yeah.
trying to
you
say
said-
is that there is
There is room to fight in there.
there is
Yeah.
room to fight in
Right,
the main
okay.
room. It would be
Cool.
tight in the hallways.
Gotcha. Because you said don't be in there.
Well, don't be in there when the first shot goes through. Yeah, and then
Gotcha.
once Nick has gotten like Nick is expecting that this first shot is not going to be great because it is going to be targeting. But if it provides a distraction, the three of you can move in, and if you're moving and
fair.
constantly doing it, then they can start taking calmer shots because they have time.
On my
Well,
way in, did I see any
yeah.
like stalagmites or stalactites or something that's just like chilling to give us some cover
Yes.
to hide behind? Cool.
They do have moss on them.
Sneeze.
So- Here's what I would recommend.
Yes.
Take a round to aim.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
Jay says, I'm gonna get some stuff out of my van. I don't know if got enough for this. I'll have to call Rubble.
I mean, hey, you. Great, sounds good.
You should let everyone that you know.
Yeah, let the town know. Ray, call it in. We're gonna start.
Radio spotty at this distance.
Start heading back.
Oh yeah.
This could spell the end of your world. If we don't succeed here right now.
Fine, I don't like it.
Yeah, someone needs to know.
I'm on the case. And starts making their way, like, get something out of the get something out of the van, drops it, and looks at Mutt and said, "That's for Nick."
Ooh.
Or that's for Nick and Norm. And gets in the car and starts driving.
Wait.
So you
what?
spent
Yes.
let's line up the shot.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Give me
Uh,
you are gonna spend around aiming. That
Yes,
happens.
I am. Yep.
You've
okay.
you've all done well enough in your stealth, and they've done shit on their notice.
Amazing.
I just keep rolling twos on their notice.
It's fine. I
Um,
am bug like you. Buzz.
Yeah.
Blah,
Give me Zephyr,
Me too,
give me
Sneeze.
a notice from you.
Notice. Stick can do. The d6 plus 4.
I show them where to hide, and then I hide.
Fair, honestly.
Oh god. It's a
Here.
3 and a 2 plus 4, so that's a hit.
Okay.
Okay.
You've painted the target well. You've outlined where all the targets are currently in the room, and you kind of can relay that data. It's a little spotty, so you will be giving a bonus to a +1 bonus to hit for
Plus
Nick
one?
for all shots, but the first round a +2.
Okay.
Yeah, we see, like, from my perspective, my pupils are like flitting between targets and flitting between bits of the cave, and then on your overlay, it's almost like a sonar pulse of like there's these spots. They're not really like humanoid shapes. They're just spots are
Yeah.
kind of overlaid, and then a second later, like a scan line comes down and they've moved slightly, and a scan line comes down, they've moved slightly.
Yep.
So there's a bit of a delay almost.
Nick,
real
your
time.
VATS activates.
Yeah. For real. Okay.
Now, you are
yeah.
taking massive penalties for shooting through a bunch of rock.
That seems fair. Yeah.
I'm going to give you a -6.
Okay. All right. So it's -6, you said, but with a +2 bonus, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So +2 to shoot takes that to a -4. Sharpshooting takes away all of those. Takes away all 4 of the remaining 4 immediately. And you said and call shot is a -2, right? Or -4?
If you're
Right.
calling for a headshot, it is -4, but
Okay.
a round of aiming will offset that, which you've done.
Yes. So I will offset that. Well, no. So I'm actually I'm hold on, I'm min-maxing my gun. So
Okay.
I am going to all right, I need to do math again. So I've 6 penalties and a total of -10 to a called shot, right?
Yes.
To the head. Okay. I'm going to take 4 off of it with sharpshooting, 4 off of it with aim, the remaining 2 off of it with the trademark weapon bonus I get, and then I get an additional sorry
Math is hard.
yeah, and then additional +1, and then plus the +2 bonus that Zephyr gives me. So that is it, shooting it at a grand total of +3.
Your target number is 4.
Okay. Sorry, +4 because of trademark weapon and optics. Okay, so shooting at a total of +4. I'm gonna smite innate at the start as well.
All right. So first, before that, roll your
Yep.
psionic.
I'm gonna roll psionics first.
There you
Got
go.
it.
All right.
Okay, I will take
Uh,
that.
Is there rules for being stabilized or some shit? I think
No.
you've already worked them all
It's
in.
it's
so.
it's the other direction. It's if you're unstable, you take penalties.
Yes,
Gotcha.
but I have.
you
but-
also have what is
yeah.
known as the drop.
Oh
Okay.
shit! Right. That's
The
yeah.
drop adds
Oh,
4
yeah.
to a character's attack and damage
Oh, okay. Cool.
for the first action.
Yeah, I also just ignore unstable because I have steady hands.
You're
Okay.
perfectly stable too. So
Yep. All right. So that's
No,
actually a +8
it's arguable.
bonus to hit, and then a plus, and then smite gives me plus an extra bonus die of damage, I think. Yep, and then a +2 to damage, so it's +4, and then +4 again. So that's 8. So grand total +8 to hit, +8 damage.
So you have a +8 on this 5 for a 13. That's a hit with several raises.
Correct. So I'm going to roll
Let me look up my stats again.
and see what happens, and I have AP6 and mega damage.
AP6 noted.
Yep,
This thing does not look as tough as others I take at Queens because it is much younger.
that's fair. Okay, I'm gonna hit the shoot button. 15.
Nice.
All right.
That's a hit with several raises.
That's with your +8.
That's with the +8. Yep.
Wait, why did it roll a d4 -2?
Because it's rolling fighting.
Oh, it's rolling fighting. Oh God.
Yeah, when you set up the power, you
Sorry, that's
accidentally
my
put the wrong
bad.
thing in there.
I did. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you're gonna need to re-roll that.
Let me just re-roll that. That's just wrong. Yeah. Okay. Wait. 16.
16, much better. And that's
Yep.
just your shooting.
That's just the shooting. That's just the shot roll. No damage yet.
All right.
So you'll be getting your bonus damage, to say the least.
That's a hit with several
Right.
raises, yes.
Yep. So we're gonna roll damage.
Mm-hmm.
29
+3 because you get the bonus damage.
plus. Yep. 29 +3, and then I have to roll an X. No, that's with the 3d6. 3d12. We already did that. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah. So 32 damage. AP6 total.
32 damage on this thing, AP6. So
Yep.
let me just do some subtraction, which is always for me slower. Also, when I scrolled off the thing accidentally, that didn't help.
Honestly, fair. Done that before.
Oh, because it's the wrong Zytikic book. All right. So the toughness is 34, but it's -5 because it's younger. So and you got a 34?
I got 32 AP6.
All right. And then another 6 off that. You hit with a rate. You hit with 2 raises.
Yep.
So
Holy shit.
here's what happens. There's a sound in this town. This town is abnormally quiet, except for bugs and kittens and small things that the Zytikic didn't bother to kill and drag into their moss. This is the loudest sound this has heard since the plasma burst took out the thing. It echoes down the caves, and it's loud for all of you. It doesn't hurt you. A split second before it hits, the Zytica Queen goes, "What? Why is that dangerous to me?" And because you can understand the language. The Zytica Queen is apparently aware of danger. A moment before, a bullet goes through and just takes their entire head.
That's why, honey. That's why.
Now,
Small being a stickler for cinematics, point of order, if I may.
okay,
What you hear in the cave is as the thunder
that's true.
follows the bullet behind.
yes. The bullet is faster than sound.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like thunder and lightning. Gotcha.
The bullet goes through, the Zytica Queen goes, "What am I in danger from?" Boom. The head is gone.
And here I thought I'd have to do some borking.
The minions go into a near frenzy. The entire place fills with the nastiest scent. Mutt. Zephyrdry, Zytica give off a death scent that they mark. It's kind of like a Zytica died here. Kill this thing that killed me, or other things.
Cool.
Now, its antennae are gone. Its head and face are gone. It's lying immobile because it can't do much,
Still have eggs.
but it's not dead yet. All right. I'm sorry we're going to go a little later than normal, but I want to see what the rest of you do in the cave.
I have ideas. Are we in initiative order at all?
Yeah, it's
So let me dig you out some initiative. I keep forgetting that that's not just a thing
Yeah.
that everybody. All players. Deal. Oh, no, I didn't do it. Where's my initiative tracker? There it is. Everybody's in there. Oh God. All right, so I dealt out initiative,
Cool.
and
Quick-
Nick and Nora got the black joker, so everyone gets a penny.
Yay!
Question, was that for that? That was basically that turn, right? Functionally.
This is sure.
Okay, because like I feel like I've already done my turn. Here,
Okay,
so
yes.
that's fair.
Let other people do things. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. On the other hand, though, that's not 32 damage anymore.
It's 34.
It's 64.
What
It's
the what?
you've
Dead
got
shot.
an edge.
I've got dead shot. It doubles my damage when I draw the Joker.
When you draw a joker, you also gain 10 ISP back.
I do.
You built your character for this.
for this.
Damn, son. Damn. Damn, son.
So remember when I
Wait.
said the Zytica Queen wasn't dead?
I remember. Yeah, I remember.
I was
remember.
wrong.
Are you sure?
Turns out. Everyone gets a Benny,
Okay.
so let me just do that
It's
real
okay.
quick.
Everybody's wrong sometimes. It's fine.
I love how Rio said, "My gun go off. I
accurate.
make the shoot button."
Look, Nicanor is old and slow and not very smart, but they do the gun good.
They do gun good.
This is a shot that would go down in history books if more people had seen it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I saw it.
I saw it.
remember.
I recorded it in about
That's
3
true.
different like it's
Every
since
spectrum
around.
available.
Good.
mean,
I have
that
it
might make a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's believe me that for purposes I'm recording this and it's very
My
well
vision
documented.
my vision was slightly distorted by the fact that my paws were over my nose because it stinks like awful.
The death
Yeah.
smell is bad.
Awful.
The fucking worst.
Anyone in the caves is now marked.
Oh,
You can get rid of it, but it's like a
It's a skunk.
situation.
Yeah, I got tomato
Oh.
juice. It'll be fine. Okay,
There is a
Sorry, my
compound
bad.
that will remove it, but
Okay.
y'all
be
didn't
good.
bring it.
I have no dermis, so that'll be fine. Let's
Yeah, it's
know.
just stuck in your joints.
This
All right.
power. Oh fuck.
Cool.
That makes
Anyways,
me
I'm done.
next.
Yeah,
So
Mutt.
Hi.
You're next.
So I have two things that I like to do. One, an actual movement, and the other a flavor text movement.
Movement's free.
First, what?
Movement's pretty much free.
Oh no, like action,
Okay.
a flavor text action and an action.
Yeah.
Action first. I would like to, if I'm reading this correctly,
Mm-hmm.
what is my range? My range is smarts.
Smarts means what's your smarts die? D6?
Yeah.
About 36 feet.
Is that about how far they are?
You rolled well enough on stealth, and they rolled a lot of 2s on notice.
So
That's might even be 36 yards. I forget. But yes, it is enough.
cool. I would I would like to look out, like kind of like stand up, look up at them, throw up, and in the process of throwing up, just give out this like this, I guess it's as weird as this sounds, like this like an altering scent for Barcane Protection.
Okay.
I would like to cast Barcane Protection upon.
Excellent choice. You cast Barcane Protection on yourself. Roll the cast a spell die.
Guys, I renamed my spells.
Yeah,
Oh
this is
no!
the thing.
Good, beautiful.
No, this is, look, literally says Barcane Protection.
The spell goes off. You get bonuses against stuff for things.
Yes. This says hostile powers suffer a -2 penalty, -4 with a raise to affect this character if power causes harm, damage is reduced a like amount. In other words, what they hit me, they get hurt.
Or no, when they hit you, it is way less than if they actually if you didn't have this on you. It's good armor. So that's what you need to know. And that's what you do. You give off
Barcane.
this bark and you glow slightly to the others.
Yeah.
There's a liminal radiance.
Yeah. In the slight sound of wrenching, you just see me glowing. Oh.
Yeah, the Saint Dog vomits protection onto itself. Like,
You know,
Oh
shit happens.
god.
okay, this is a fear dream.
It's
Guys,
not
bad
normally
news.
how that works, but
There's not only one threat to this planet in here. Bad news. Holy moly! All right, so but there's 3 other drones of varying capacities nearby.
There is a warrior, there is a drone, and there is a nanny. The nannies don't fly but can be dangerous. The warriors are tough,
warriors.
and they're warriors, and they have weapons. And the worker is durable, but not the greatest combatant.
All right, so then
Oh, all of them can spit acid, by the way. Here's what you might want to also know about
by the
Zytics.
way,
I want to give, because the Fear Dream
Yes.
rolled very well on the What Are Zytics.
Yeah.
They all spit acid. They all have antennae, which allow them to detect sounds and negate certain things. But once again, they're chitinous and tough as hell. They release a death scent. They have 4 arms, allowing them to do more in combat. The nanny is actually about 8 feet tall, which is short for a nanny, so it's size 2. Zytic make a natural healing roll once a day. They leave a trail scent like ants, ultrasonic communication, and wall walking.
like you do.
Yeah, so that's all the information you need.
Okay. Sick. Then,
Oh, they are
Oh.
also well, the one that was powerfully psionic is dead, but the is the warrior psionic as well? I believe the warrior psionic as well.
okay.
They might all be. Let me just
Uh,
check. Continue, sorry.
Okay. Well, I have a question. Which one's closest to me?
Let's go with the worker.
Worker. Beautiful. After I've seen that the bullet and there's the how loud was the report on this gun? Did we hear it in here?
Barf.
You did hear it. It took a second, and then it echoed much because it echoed through the valley.
Yeah.
So you definitely caught some of it.
Okay. Fabulous.
They have pincers.
Oh, that's fine. I have wings, so we'll hang out well together. As Mutt is morphing, and feeling much better afterwards.
Mhm.
I've been like, we'll say like I got up high somewhere just to get an overview of the situation, and like let go of myself, let go of the stalactite that I was hanging onto, and her eyes shift into a bright red as I bring both hands forward, and the fingers like interlace and then become like blades as I shoot downward and just yell at them in their own language. You shall not take this world.
They are super confused by hearing something that's not one of them.
Yeah. I can speak in ultrasonic frequencies. So I'm gonna try to stab these guys with my vibroblade vambraces.
All right.
That's what's gonna happen. So, you said this thing's size +2? Sick.
This one is size 1.
Size 1. Okay. That's a size differential of 3? So I get what, plus
You
something?
get a +3.
Is it a +3? Is it that simple? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna roll fighting.
Being tiny has bonuses.
Roll fighting, +3. Boop.
All right, you got a 4.
4, 5, 6,
That
so
does
7.
not have the 3 added in, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's a 7. I have bennies. I'm gonna reroll that.
Okay.
Boop.
11. Much
Way better. That's a hit with a raise. That's what I wanted to
its
see.
parry is 7.
Okay. Or actually, I guess that isn't necessarily a hit with a raise, right? Because that compares to their parry.
Actually, this one's parry is 4.
Oh. Well, convenient. Then that is a hit with a raise. I was right, damn it.
Yep.
Fantabulous.
That 11 is plus, so it's two raises. Doesn't matter though.
It does,
okay.
yeah, on this, in this case.
Go ahead and roll that damage.
Sick. I'm gonna roll damage on these vibroblade vambraces. Boom. And that is, it says AP 8, but because this thing is so freaking big, I believe it is AP 12. I have no idea how much of its inherent toughness is armor, but
Most of it. Its toughness of 11 is 7 points of armor.
oh, sick. I cut through all of that like it's not even there. As these, like, hand blades sink into this thing.
Yeah. Jesus. Okay. You will take this thing out. The worker is shredded.
Yeah, in fact, then, yeah, rather than a dive bomb, like, as I come up close to it and, like, I make contact and we see the hand blades sink into this thing, I become a cartwheeling, like, down the, like, side of this thing, just rolling down it, landing with my hands, like, whoosh, spread out, and I flit them to knock whatever awful ichor comes out of these things.
It is goo and ichor. It is the inside of a bug. That's all that is left is the inside. There's moss around. The blood is slightly bioluminescent.
Ooh, like me.
So now you're covered in this thing's slightly bioluminescent blood.
Great. It's what color is their blood?
Kind of blue.
Or what's it
green.
glowing, I should say.
A bluish green.
Bluish
kind of
green.
like
All right. It contrasts nicely with my extremely red eyes and wings that are behind me now.
All right. Up next is Saphirdery enemy. Enemy is there.
Enemy.
Enemy 1. Enemy 1 is going to. Enemy 1 is the warrior who is going to attempt to shoot the dog.
I mean,
You know, I didn't consider up until this point that would happen, and now I'm mad.
Yeah, you know, but yeah.
Okay.
yep.
So read Arcane
Shit.
Protection again because this is a telekinetic rifle it has.
Okay. Okay.
That's gimmick infringement on a good friend of mine.
This is. Come on, open up.
What is it shooting? D10.
Success with arcane protection means hostile powers suffer a -2 penalty. I didn't get a raise, right?
Nope. So
Okay,
it's
then.
-2 to hit you
Yes.
on a D10. So the DC is now 6.
Mhm.
This is not a wild card. It doesn't go by 6. That is a 4 total. It has missed you.
Woof. Like
Oh, no.
I like wrench, and then I come back
That
up.
is a 4. The total misses you.
As you barf, that's when the shot goes over your head.
Pure luck. It would have hit you if
Beautiful.
you hadn't have done that arcane protection.
Absolutely gorgeous.
All right, and now
Look,
the nanny
this
is gonna
stuff
come
stinks so bad.
and run up on the run up and try to crab claw, kind of, the robot.
It's a good thing I smelled on like a chemical level. Like, would you like me to describe in precise scientific terms how bad this smells?
All right, it's gonna come up on you. No, not the leaper, the nanny. What is it's fighting? Not great. It puts down eggs and is going to attempt to murder you.
Nope, I'm also way small.
What's your oh true. This one is large.
Yep, I'm
so
size -2.
Size
Nice.
-2, so it
Nice.
takes a -4 to hit you.
I'm
It
tiny.
is,
He's so
Yeah.
small.
I'm very
let's
small.
see.
I'm so small.
And I got a good parry.
That is a 5. What's your parry?
9.
Okay, -4. So does a 1 hit your 9?
Not typically,
No? Okay.
no.
The first attack of its big ass claws, you just go in between.
Sometimes math is weird.
The second attack of its big ass claws. Oh boy, you being tiny is really useful.
Yes. Because
Is
I'm
a
also
6,
not super tough.
7, 8, 9. 9 minus what was it? 4.
That sounds right.
9 minus 4 is a 5. 5. What is your parry?
9. It's still 9.
Still misses you.
My parry's still 9. Like,
But this time it would connect if you didn't take evasive. It didn't take aggressive maneuver against it. This thing has just massive claws for holding, like, bigger claws than the warrior actually. But that's its turn. The only things left are Bulbasaur. They're the only one left.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
I'm just immediately thinking, I'm like, Nick said not to turn into a dragon, but I have to kill these things.
I was about to say, point of order, Zephyr nodded very emphatically.
That is true.
And
That
Nick
is
said,
true.
"Don't turn into a dragon where people can see you."
Outside.
Mhm.
Outside.
So
They're
Also
not
that.
outside.
We're not out loud.
Okay,
I step back, and
we don't need to actually go ultrasonic.
We don't need to go ultrasonic. I step back, use my cape, turn around very quickly, and in my place, a incredibly large purple dragon with golden scales, royally frilled, stands in the place, and it's about to get a lot stinkier as I use my toxic breath.
I'm just gonna be wrenching
Your
this
what?
entire thing.
Hold on, pardon, back up. Your what?
My what? I would like to just understanding the positions. It's me, Zephyrdry. Hi, sweetheart. Me, Zephyrdry, and one Bitten and Mutt on the mouth of the mines, and then the bad guys are further in the mines.
I feel like I'm in
Zephyrdry
front.
got up in there.
Okay,
If you spend a Benny, I will make sure Zephyrdry can't be hit by it.
I'll spend a Benny. Also,
Okay.
I don't know if it'll work on her because she's a robot, and this is a supernaturally potent neurotoxin.
Oh, it's a toxin.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm immune to toxins.
I'm not.
Oh yeah, then no. Yeah, no, you're
Yeah,
good.
but that's
this
your
is
problem.
a supernaturally potent neurotoxin, so
Yeah.
this
Huh?
could have some effects if there's blowback. So go ahead and roll.
I'm specifically immune to all diseases and poisons
Hey, bud.
Oh,
because I'm a
Yeah, no.
construct.
You know
that's
who's
super
not?
cool.
Who's
Yeah.
not the dog?
Also, the Zytikic.
Yeah?
Ooh. Yeah, I open my mouth and let out this purple fog of poison. Hi, can I help you?
You're talking to someone and it's not me.
It's not me. How do I roll it though? Is that spellcasting
All right.
or psionics?
Must check. No, they check their vigor.
That was so
With a
Oh,
ne-
cool.
no,
all right.
-2 with the raise. What does that mean? What? This is weird. I feel like someone knows what this
Okay,
would
hang
be,
on.
but
All right,
yeah.
let's see. Can breathe a purple poisonous cloud using a cone template or an arc medium blast of chi. Flex vapor is supernaturally potent. Those caught in the area of effect. Yada 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 yada. Okay, so This is
What would
just
they
a
roll?
function of who you are as a person, and since it uses cone templates, that means it's a shooting roll typically.
But
Okay.
they could get a raise, it says.
We're at 2.
Those caught in the area could be effective. Vigor check -2 with raise. So
So that's a normal spell casting roll or psionics?
Those caught in the area of effect without an.
yeah, I'm gonna say give me a normal spellcasting.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that with a raise would happen again if it was okay. Just so you know, Kevin, for future, if they were to use shooting, and they got a raise, then it would be a particularly potent. That's
Yeah.
where that with a raise comes from.
Yeah, but what roll would you make to make this happen?
Shooting.
Shooting. Do I have shooting?
Shooting.
I was like, I got fighting. I definitely have fighting, but I don't know
Oh, yeah.
about shooting.
Because
Thing.
cone template makes it shooting.
That would be with nothing else specified. That would be the default assumption. Please note, you're the game boss. Pick whatever
Yeah.
fucking skill
I
you
think
want.
we're gonna take the spellcasting on this one because we've rolled it and it's good.
Cool.
Yes.
I
Yes,
don't have that
absolutely.
many. Yeah.
You hit with a raise, they get a -2.
Ooh. Yes, my entire goal is to try to incapacitate them because of their stinky blah blah blah. I don't want them to leave the cave.
Yeah.
All right, the
That
nanny
makes sense.
was a sometimes funny show.
Jesus.
That is a 5 -2, so that fails.
Hey.
Just remind me of
And-
8-bit.
The worker's gone,
Hey.
Yay!
Nice.
Rip,
and
dead.
the warrior is D10 as well. Oh, that is a 9. So the warrior, let's see, is not incapacitated, but the nanny just falls right over for enough minutes that you'll kill it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Batter up.
All right. We could deal new cards, or we can just give Nick a round.
Just get Nick. Go. Nick, do your thing.
Give
Do it.
Nick's
Go.
cards will take longer than Nick's cards.
Yeah, there's 2
Yeah.
Zytics left, and they're both incapacitated.
One of them is the
Fine.
warrior's still up
Oh.
and dangerous. Otherwise, I
Okay.
would call it.
Warrior
I mean,
still. Got it.
I mean, I would just bork, so
I
if
could
one
miss,
loud.
so I'm cool with redealing. That's fine.
Just go ahead, Nick.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
You get enough cards,
Um,
you'll probably go first anyway.
Okay, that's fair. All right, I'm just gonna do the same thing again and shoot it through the wall.
Okay. You don't have aim on this, so
I do not have aim on
it's
this.
only a +6 or whatever.
Yeah. So, well, okay. This,
Let's just
the problem
scroll up and
is
see
my
what your shooting was.
my cards go faster, but my turn takes longer. So we're at a -6 still, right?
Yeah. So what you did last round, except you don't have the benefit from shooting, so you
Yep.
only have a +4.
Okay. Yep, that's fair.
We just take
plus-
out the
plus
instant-
3 actually because the
Cool.
buff from Disappeared to go down went down
yeah.
to 1.
You will only miss if you critically fail.
Yeah.
It's impossible for you to get under a 4 at that point.
All right. Went 14.
14. Okay, so you hit with
Hit with
couple
a
of
raise.
raises.
Yeah, hit with a raise. Okay.
Roll that
All right,
damage.
roll that damage. Add in the bonus.
Yep.
Oh, that beautiful bean footage.
32.
31, 32.
32.
Okay. Once again, there's a sound. Oh, I'm sorry. A sound will happen.
Yeah.
But
Some point.
first, the Zytikic warrior stops existing. The bullet comes through and tears the gun and its chest into an inverted thing where the gun is partially through its chest into a crumpled mess on the wall. All 4 of its arms are crunched in like a beetle that is upside down. That has been upside down and dried out on my doorstep for some reason. This bug
Oddly
is dead.
specific.
The bugs are killed.
So we see that and then hear the shot.
And then
Cocoon!
there will be people coming to see what has happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you have one problem left. And as Mutt looks out of the cave, they see the package that Chase
Chase left.
behind. Mutt doesn't know how to describe it, but it doesn't take a moment until Nicanor sees it, and it's a plasma block.
Oh,
It's essentially what if C4, but everything gone forever.
let's kind of roll that into the cave and.
There are eggs down here still.
Yeah.
You
Right.
clear everything out, or you clear yourselves out. Do
I
you?
clean up first, and then we're
Yeah.
good. Look, I'm a dog, okay?
Oh no.
If everything's gone, I have to clean up.
No,
You
that's
do
fair.
what dogs do.
Yeah.
You have one of your faults is you have dog traits.
I do.
All right, so you
I do. It's on my list.
the
Good.
plasma block is
Yep.
set. I'm not gonna make you make a roll for this because you can. Easy enough. All of you get this done.
I mean, how big of a hole did your bullet put in the ground on the way down? Like, is it still just a bullet-sized hole, or is it like a chamber?
It would
I
take
mean-
material. Actually, it would be moving so fast and at mega damage
Yeah.
enough to vaporize most of what it's hitting.
Just push the bomb
Yeah.
down the hole.
So there is a cone. It's bigger than the bullet, but it's like a soda can size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, then fine. We just set the bomb normal.
you set the bomb off, eradicating every egg, every ounce of the moss. There is still some moss, but without this big thing and anyone feeding the moss, it's likely that the moss will fade in time.
Oh no, the marble.
Beautiful.
The marble is gone.
Yep.
No, this had been tapped
Atomized.
out centuries ago.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Cool.
It had filled with other crap, but then the Zytikic cleaned it out.
Fair, honestly.
You have potentially saved the world today.
For the very first time.
If this had been allowed to turn into a full Zytikic hive, which are mostly underground, this could have gone unnoticed for a long time. But y'all were here to take the literal perfect shot at this.
We're on the case.
You go back to town. The bitten man is just nods,
Woof.
basically. Though if Nicanor wants to brag and show them the footage,
Nah. It's not Nicanor's thing.
okay,
They take a lot of shots like that. It's job.
that's the job.
I very politely and emphatically let him know that his planet was almost annihilated.
Again? What is this? The fifth one or the seventh one? I know there's a prophecy. Mumbles. You go back to town. You let them know. They are extremely thankful. They give you payment. I'm not going to make you count pennies. If there's something you're looking towards buying, let me know.
We can
it
talk about how
is-
the wealth die works later.
Yeah, the wealth die is a thing.
It's rad.
Woof.
And some of you can't use wealth. Well, you kind of never mind. Anyway,
Woof.
you are given accolades, a place to hang out. You are toasted. You are given a dog bowl full of beer if you'd like. And you're all treated to drinks and celebrated for what you did. Anyone who,
Take a chicken
like,
leg.
people don't believe you at first when you tell them you eradicated a unknown Zytikic hive, but
And
the
footage.
footage backs you up.
And our smell probably backs us up.
Your smell backs other people away. But you eventually will make your way back to Castle Refuge, where when you come in, Sir Tannhauser goes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you're all alive. Good news.
Woof.
Did you handle it? I mean, as soon as you did, my friend just was so relieved. I don't know why.
Planet was almost annihilated by Zytikics.
Again?
Why do people keep saying that on this planet?
Have
Because
you
it
ever been
happens
to
a
North
lot.
Dakota?
It's just
Blank.
Uh.
Blink, blink.
No, that same green that we saw in her eyes in the cave, they just turn that color and she says nothing.
Good work. Here's your pay. Your pay stubs will be sent in. And thank you. You may return to your normal duties or whatever you're doing before. Stay nearby if you can. We may have more missions going out if you prefer to stay a team.
Yes.
Well, okay, that's good news. Now I don't have to file another form.
I'm squishing.
Well,
as
we
close
don't
to
got, we
him.
don't got to pick another name, so it works for me.
That's exactly what I said.
But we can't.
Or thought. I said something. Never mind.
What was
Anyway,
it? Optic
got you.
nerve was the one we were.
optic nerve. Steel
Stupid
optics.
binoculars.
Yeah, steel optics works too.
Anyway, Zephyrdry,
Yes?
there was a something came for you.
Oh.
It's in a box. We did not open it because we don't know if it'll explode. We've heard it's probably not explosive.
Ooh. It probably won't explode, but yeah, best to let me interface with the box. Just in case, for your own safety.
Also,
I'll take it outside of town first.
yeah, do that. Also, who you might want to consider who knows you here. Because they found you.
Yeah. That's unusual.
Well.
And difficult.
I had someone look at it. They said it's a puzzle they can't possibly begin to comprehend. So anyway, here it is. It is a box roughly the size of a what are they called? American Girl doll box.
Oh, 18 inches.
Cut in half.
Holy shit!
So quick with it, damn.
I used to
Oh.
make clothes for them. Leave me alone.
No,
Oh,
it's
hey.
fine. I just, you know that moment when you see someone who clearly knows more about a subject than you ever will? That just happened to me. Fantastic.
Frankly, I'm impressed.
Yeah,
Yay!
they're very
Because you didn't directly ask me. If you directly asked me, I would have had no fucking clue.
Anyway,
I see it, my eyes change about 2 different colors, and then go, I will definitely open this outside of town.
okay. The rest of you
my head is on his feet.
are brought, can go about what you're doing, but I just want to, because Fox won't be with us next week, so I want to do this quick little scene.
Yeah.
You take this box outside of town, and it is completely sealed. There's some writing on it that indicate in the language of an arcane. It's basically the Latin of your planet,
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Techno-Latin.
Techno-Latin, but it's like a dead language from your planet that
Sure.
only nerds speak.
Yeah.
It indicates the keys to the puzzle, which this is. This is a logic puzzle that it's basically written in fucking Latin. You have to solve a theorem that is been considered somewhat unsolvable.
My communications reach very far. Vavasor, over your communicators, you just hear a little tiny robot voice go, Your Grace?
Yes.
I may be sometime. And then, like, over where I am, my eyes just kind of, I grab the box and my eyes go dark as I just sit next to this thing.
All right, you begin computations, which will take approximately 1 week.
Approximately. give or take.
It'll take
Give or
one
take some-
episode.
I let her know. Your presence will be missed. Oh, nope, she hung up. All right.
It's fine. It's an
I love that there is like a full minute before your presence will be missed too. I think that's
Yeah,
even
yeah.
better.
They were thinking about how to phrase
Yeah.
it.
It looks
Alright.
at phone. Oh, already hung up.
Oops.
So
There, yeah, they hung up.
we do a quick
Do not
cinematic
disturb.
on everyone, and we do a quick scope. Everyone's still alive. You give your smiles to the camera, showing how cool you are, and then credits roll.
Yay!
Huzzah!
Thank you for joining us for
Oh.
episode 1 and 2 of
Bitten.
Rift's Gunmetal Blues.
Hell
Bittens.
yeah. Bittens.
Hell yeah, Bitten.
Meow.
I got
So-
to fight as I take it,
Woof.
so you're forgiven. And check that one off the list now, so you're forgiven.
I
Nice.
am
Specifically
cute.
requested I take
You
it.
did, yeah.
Splugorth is next, so okay.
It's
All
not
right.
next, but it's on the list. Anyway, you
Keep
won't be here
going
next
down the
week.
list. I am curious how much gun I can apply to everything you call up.
I'm gonna look at
Whoa.
your fucking stat block again.
Built for a purpose. All right.
Because I am impressed.
Yeah, the crunchiness of the system can do some things.
Oh, it can. Oh, it absolutely can.
Uh-huh.
I've gotten there with my Techno Wizard. It can happen.
So, thank you all for joining us. Once again, just want to mention our amazing sponsor, Grinding Coffee Company, where you can get 10% off. Let me put exclamation point coffee in
Good.
Discord. And remember, we've got a lovely Discord as well. Or I said in the Discord, I meant in the chat. We've got a Discord that we are always happy to welcome new people into. So thank you for that. Someone put, did I? No, let me put Discord in there as well. Exclamation point Discord. I should be doing this while all of you are telling us who you are and where we can find you. Let's just go around starting with Nana. Tell us about
Hello.
you.
I would love to. Hi, I'm Nana Lovebug. I am an artist and brand new TTRPG creator. What's up, Fox? How you doing down there?
With overlays.
It's interactive. You can find me on twitch.tv/Nana_Lovebug. I draw a lot online. You can see my drawings of Vavasaur in the Discord. And yeah, come on over on Tuesday nights. We're drawing. We're having a good time. The next time I'll be streaming is this Saturday for Sketchy Saturday and our art challenge. So I hope to see y'all there.
All right. Up next is Ryomasa Jonathan.
Hey! I am Ramasa, or also my in-space flesh bag name is John. Hi.
John.
So you can find me over on Twitter at RY0MASA. That is where I do all of my thoughts about TTRPGs and mental health and shit and all that other fucking fun nonsense. You can also find me while being on this show here on Thursdays. You can find me on Sundays over at Friends Who Roll Dice, where we are playing Demon Creek, which is an urban fantasy, urban shadow, a Weird West urban shadows game set in Demon Creek, Oklahoma. And so, yeah, that's at 1 p.m. EST, goes for 2 hours. And then you will also potentially find me streaming on my own channel on Saturday as a bunch of folks and I are going to tackle the new King's Fall raid from Destiny 2 on week 1. So we'll see how that goes. I've done a couple week ones before, and I'm excited to do it again.
I'm sure.
Sorry, and also good luck.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
back.
God.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh no.
So,
They've also just released Arc 3.0 though, so it's a really fun time for building stuff. That's really cool.
okay. We're not here for them. We're here for y'all. All right, Maxine, tell us, where can we find you?
Guys, my name is Maxine, and I also go by That Girl at That Place anywhere and everywhere except for Instagram, where I'm Lady Skyburn or That Girl's art page, because I also do the arts. And I have a really cool announcement. I'm starting streaming again, and I'm super
Hey.
excited about it. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a marathon stream. If I am, it will be the second. If not, then I'm starting on the first Monday. So check my stuff for that. I have a Switch and I want to use it. Let's play games, guys.
All right. And Fox.
Hey folks, I remain Fox Barrett at Fox_Barrett on Twitter and occasionally Fox_Bar on Twitch. I will hopefully be streaming once I get back from the trip I'm taking out of town. But the next time you can catch me is Friday nights, every Friday night in fact, over at twitch.tv/Devil's Luck Gaming, where we have got Stellar Age, Star Sector Drop, the latest arc in our ongoing mecha anime series powered by the Age system. Come check us out.
It's fun.
A lot of fun. And it's only gonna get more.
Yeah.
I know it's coming next. Anyway.
All right. Hello, everybody. I've been your game boss for the evening. My name is Kevin Myers. You can find me at BySonicKevin on the Twitters, and you can join us at the Discord. I already dropped a link, so there's all that. And you can find my wife's amazing knitwear designs and products at latteandllamas.com, but only type it in once. There you go. Into the chat
Yay.
rather than putting it in twice, fouling the whole
Whoop,
HTTP. Never mind. All right. So we hope to see you next week. I don't know exactly what we're gonna. I don't have everything lined up yet, so we're going to kick off to a raid. Once again, thank you so much to Nerdy for the channel and helping us get things up to YouTube and whatnot. You'll be able to find our VODs there eventually. And thank you for joining us. Now, our good friend Wildcat Dara is playing
Dara
right
streaming?
now. Dara's
Yeah,
streaming
Dara's
right
Dara's
now.
playing Cult of the Lamb right now.
Yeah, playing Cult of the Lamb, a game I've been
Everybody go
told
join her
a
cult.
game my wife wants to play, which is weird. which
Go
is rare.
join their cult. Do it.
It's a good game.
I just want to make sure I get the spelling on Wildcat Dara. It's got a Y.
If
which
you
is-
need me to, I can set up the raid for that as well.
I just
believe.
need to put in a Y and then.
Yep.
Nope, not at the end. I'll type work.
I appreciate that chat can like join the cult and become a little cultist and run around.
Yeah,
and, like,
the-
do
Oh,
things,
nice.
and
The
it's
Twitter
It's
Switch
very
integration
good.
for the game. It's
So
really
funny.
Very good.
so
Did
funny.
that not work?
So cute.
Fox,
Go
go ahead.
be a
and-
cultist.
I'm
Be
gonna
better
set up
than
that
me at this.
raid.
You heard it here, folks. Go be a cultist. Enjoy your
Go be-
night.
Yeah. Cult.
There you
Cults are
go. We
cool.
are
Bye.
raiding Wildcat.
sentient
Dara.
dog
Slash,
says-
not
The sentient dog says, "Joe, go join a cult."
All right, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll see you next week, hopefully, and we'll catch you soon. Be safe and have fun.
Bye bye.
Bye. Now we just have to wait for the raid.